This is Questlog, the podcast where we discuss all things video games, share personal stories and experiences. In our first episode, we delve into the video game franchise Monster Hunter, along with good friends Brendan and Stephen. Let's get hunting.
So, first episode. Obviously, we're all good friends, and we've been friends for a very long time, both through high school, college, work, whatever you do, Stephen.
Sure.
And we've all been such big fans of Monster Hunter, but Monster Hunter came out in 2004, which was when, obviously, we were all quite young. And I need to go through and I need to show you the list of other games that came out in 2004.
Yeah.
That Monster Hunter kind of had to contend with. So, in 2004, World of Warcraft released, Halo 2 came out, Half-Life 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Star Wars Battlefront, Need for Speed Underground 2, Far Cry, Rome Total War, Sims 2, Fable, and Spider-Man 2 are just like some of the big games that came out in 2004. So if you're thinking about a year to release a game, that's probably not the one, honestly, because some of these games, are some of the best games.
And still take my soul for some of them.
Yeah, well, I think one in particular.
Yeah.
That being World of Warcraft, which I think we should definitely discuss, in a later episode, because I think that kind of morphed the kind of MMO landscape really, and it transformed a lot of different things.
I mean, in terms of talking about any sort of video game, I think that's why Monster Hunter does hold such a high regard even until now. Is it sets up that RPG, like that player versus monster fantasy really well.
Yeah,
I don't think it's hard to emulate with a lot of other people.
I think a lot of the stories can be quite simple as well, but I do think they're quite compelling through the kind of world building that they actually do.
Yeah.
Take Tri, for example. I thought Tri was great. I really enjoyed Monster Hunter Tri.
You played too much of Tri.
Tri was really unique though, and that it was a very serious video game on a not serious console.
Yeah, it does come out on the Wii, which
yeah,
it was not. And getting some of the movements, and especially when you've been from PlayStation to PSP to the DS as well, all obviously between Sony and Nintendo consoles. Going to the Wii and having the motion controls as well for how to use your weapon. Honestly, for Greatsword, it was really easy. You just and then you just straight down, twist, that's it. And then that's kind of you, and you didn't really use the kind of joystick too much apart from moving really. And that was honestly it. But I felt Tri for me was really good story wise as well. They had underwater combat, which they've not done since.
It was problematic.
Because it was really problematic.
Yeah.
They used I think it was half of their budget and their production time creating the underwater areas and creating underwater combat.
I mean, aesthetically it was cool.
Yeah.
But mechanically not so much.
Water combat didn't actually bother me too much.
Yeah.
Well, I was a go gunner, so I had tips.
It wasn't the best, but I wasn't the worst at water combat. It was actually randomly.
I thought it was okay, apart from the fact that I get that obviously when you swim, you're not necessarily too fast and you have armour and stuff like that, but the speed at which you moved underwater was just, you were already at a disadvantage because obviously you're fighting, this huge monster.
Yeah.
But then you're underwater with it, and if you don't have specific skills for being underwater, you're at a disadvantage in terms of dodging as well.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the hitboxes in Monster Hunter Tri were not kind to anybody.
None of us in games have had generous hitboxes.
That's very, very true.
I think as well, the older ones had decent, which was just the most tragic thing ever. For context, I think they changed it by Tri, but in the older ones, when you were playing online with people, you would see the giant monster you were fighting, Rathian, Rathalos, whatever the case may be, but there would be the small little ones, the small monsters. They would not be the same for the two people. So like he'd be fighting like a Jaggy or something, right? And the Jaggy wouldn't be on my screen. It would be like over.
Yes, that wasn't part of Try. I think
that wasn't Try.
I think it might have been 3 Ultimate, which was the kind of next iteration. It was almost kind of like a DLC for Monster Hunter Tri, but it was almost a completely new game. But yeah, they did have desyncs where I'd sometimes, see, you're fighting a Popo or whatever, and then I'm seeing one over here die, and I'm like, that's really weird. I hope there's not an invisible monster over there. Coming for me,
Yeah, it definitely like ruined like the fantasy of it, because you're like, oh, that's okay, sure, all right.
I do get that online as well was somewhat interesting, like leading up to obviously like Try and going into. I mean, talking about Try, Lock Black City. Phenomenal online space, like that was amazing. Incredible. Genuinely, obviously you had the Jen Moran fight as well, which that was brilliantly done. And I'm upset that we've not brought that back. That doesn't exist, because let's be honest, if that was in World, massive game changer, I think. But I think as well with the story of World, would that have really fit in?
Not really.
World is supposed to be New World.
Exactly.
But I mean, they did bring over like siege weaponry and things like that. So like,
but they didn't do it the same way.
No. Well, like the whole
gen fights, both the gens, the Gemoran and the Jengara, were both all on sandals.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The siege fights in World were more static.
Because I mean, the researchers.
They were more like Clash Royale.
Oh,
in a sense.
Or the Dial Armator.
The Dial Armator,
yeah.
Stuff like that.
There was an interesting discussion around the siege fights, because I felt like Lao Sha Wang and Hermitar walked so that Safi Jiva could run.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, the ramp up for siege fights and going into Jen Moran, which by the way, that's probably one of my favourite all time like bigger battles. I know that obviously you've got a Dalamadur as well, which that one was terrifying. I think I'm more meaning like kind of like monsters that are bigger than what the standard are. The scaling. Quite like in terms of their size. I think that one sat for me really well, and Dalamadur as well, being able to climb on the monster as well. And that one was a juvenile Dalamadur as well, which I think that what, sorry? Apparently, sorry. Because then obviously we get to World, and then you're in the new area, the Rotten Vale, and then you don't realise until you're in, I think one of the areas where the Radoban kind of spawns in. Yeah. That's actually the skull of a Dalamadur.
So, me being the unobservant player that I am, I think I had to have someone tell me. I'm just like,
because you can also find the destructive, the magma ball things that the fires was one of them, where Uldagarn, there's like an area in Uldagarn, you can open this area up and it's one of the pyro bombings.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either, actually. Yeah. Wow. I actually learned as well, there is a Reddit user called Hunter Iron as well, who pointed out that there's a specific area in, I believe it's the Coral Highlands. Oh no, yes, it is the Coral Highlands. That looks exactly like the arena where you fight the Dalamadur. So there's speculation that
that's where it was.
That is exactly where it was, and that turned into the Rotten Vale. And then the Coral Highlands obviously appeared because that was feeding off the energy of this dead Dalamadur.
Right.
So I think that's an interesting take, really, but it's also like, where does the story of where you actually fight the Dalamadur come from? Is that New World? Because you're talking about weeks worth of travel, like getting there as well. But I know obviously in Monster Hunter you can obviously as players we click a button and we're there. So it's very different.
Yeah, I mean I think there's a timeline and a lore shift with a lot of it. The earlier ones, it was mostly just filler lore. It wasn't
lore was told basically mostly through the quest.
This small little blurb of hey, I need you to kill hey, I need you to kill this Rathian because I want a gem to make myself look pretty for a ball or something like that. There was crazy things.
There are some crazy ones though that I think we should dive in it. I've not looked any up, but I'm pretty sure there are some there.
There's some
Yeah, I do have an article as well that we will get into, and I feel I need to read you guys the entire thing because it is probably the funniest thing that I've ever gone into. I think I'm getting ahead of myself because I think World as well was the first. I say the first. That was probably the biggest shift in terms of the Monster Hunter franchise.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it was either portable or it was on the Wii or obviously PlayStation, PlayStation 2. And then you shift into World, and World was like now, it was literally a world. It was like this big living, breathing environment. You know, no more loading screens between areas, which I think everybody was really happy with.
Yes.
I know there was some movement where you were eating and drinking certain items as well. You can move while you're doing that too. A lot of people, just like quality of life changes, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And I think that really transformed the landscape for me because there was a lot of storytelling in the landscape. And even the way that monsters react to each other too. The turf wars, that was probably one of the greatest like additions ever. And then when certain monsters were announced, like Zinogre as well, when it was announced to, you're thinking, oh, what monsters would it turf war with? You know, and that was
well, that was the whole thing. They brought out like the apex predator system for that kind of zone, which was like the Rathalos or the Zinogre or I'm very struggling to pick the Coral Highlands one.
Coral Highlands one.
Odegaron was one.
Odegaron, Legianos as well.
Legiana, that was
which you mentioned in one of the best roars in the game.
One of the most unique ones.
Yes.
Yeah, I think as well Namiel too.
That's just a great I just love the design.
Yeah.
It's one of the best design monsters in the world.
Because we were speaking about monsters as a whole and like the design of fights as well, and Namiel's definitely up there. It's like, it feels like such a unique fight because not only are you fighting it, you're fighting the environment that it's creating with the water, and then it gets angry and then it starts flying. It's like, oh, this thing has thunder element, and oh, this is conducting the water, so I'm now getting damaged and now I can't move because I'm in the water.
It was very impressive.
And then I fainted in a bucket camp. That was my experience anyway. That was the majority of it.
But yeah, I think going back to it being like a living environment, and it absolutely did feel like that from the way the map worked to like all like just the etymology, like all the little bugs and everything in all the different areas, just where you kind of. And the more other games, you have to like think about where they were going to be, why they were going to be there, etc. And in this game, it just made sense where they all were.
Exactly.
Like, you could be like, oh, this logically would be where mushrooms would be, and like it made sense.
It works really, really well. I totally agree about the entomology as well, with all the different like flora and fauna, and you could capture them and then put them in your room.
I played that
I know. Dude, if I show you mine in my room, I have a bunch of like the penguins by my bed. It's like, they're just 3 guys that are just vibing there. You can as well with the Final Fantasy crossover. You can actually catch the cactus guy. I caught him. Cactor. And I put him in my room, and mate, he flies. He's just running about constantly. Yeah, but I know in like the higher rank in the master rank quest, when you hit him, I was standing too close to him once, and I was like, "Why's my health going down? Why? Oh, I'm back at camp. I died. Oh man, this is not."
I used 10,000 needles on you.
Yeah, literally.
That's literally what it was 10,000 needles. Or scales up, and in the Final Fantasy games, it scales from different numbers.
Oh man,
10,000 needles is normally the max when it kills you off.
It's something I'm too bold to understand, I think.
You're too far away.
Yeah,
you're like 3 areas over.
Over. I'm just like, good guys.
I was in the air in that game, so
that's very true.
It was such a unique experience playing it. You were always in the air, just doing your thing. I was in the back shooting, and then we had you.
I was the great swords. I was the great sword user. Yeah, I think it's interesting looking at our guild cards and all the stats for all of the amount of quests that we do. I looked at my Monster Hunter Try ones, which, for context, I think I've played it's 987 hours I've played last time I checked, which is a lot. I think that's about 36 days of playtime.
Oh, I know on World I have 796 hours of World.
Stephen, any?
Rise, I can't remember.
1,200 hours I have on Monster World.
Actually, I could check Rise right now. I'll check Rise right now.
Yeah.
But yes, talking about, obviously we played the games a lot.
Yeah.
At a car boot sale, my dad sold my copy of. I say that I was fine with it because I was like, I don't play this game anymore with Monster Hunter. I sold it, and I bought it again just last year, and I played the first Monster Hunter game on my PlayStation 2. I have never struggled so much going back to playing a game before in my life, because when you're playing it, camera's just jank. Like it's constantly like facing like forward. Also, you use the D-pad to attack, and that really shook me. I was like, I can't, because I was trying to like press like, you know, triangle, circle, square. I'm like drinking a potion. I'm like, okay, that's consistent, because that button is usually like square or like X. That's the button that you push to drink a potion. But oh man, I struggled so much. I really did. That was me.
The same concept of that, playing World and going back to try and play in Generations Ultimate.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't do it.
No.
It was horrible, and plus because I used Insect Glaive, and since it was released, I used it.
Yeah.
For Ultimate / Generations and then World.
Yeah.
Went back to try and play on Generations Ultimate.
Yeah.
With Insect Glaive, I looked at it and went, I'm good. And I'm going to go back to play World.
Yeah.
The worst bit is, now we need to remember where the hell we need to pick up from.
Oh, I remember.
Because we all stopped when the
That's fine.
cast
We picked up from, we were going between like talking about like going from like World and Rise to like different games.
That's the thing, right? And I think like, so yeah, just to jump back into that, I think like for you, like when you played the first Monster Hunter again, did you encounter the same thing with the violence? Like, there's a lot more blood in the older ones.
Yeah, there actually is. There is I'm pretty sure there is an option you can go into to actually turn off the blood. And I'm pretty sure Tri had the same thing. So yeah, it is like when you're slashing, there is like blood that does kind of like spray off, but like it's obviously just like a singular effect. It's not like it.
Oh yeah, no, like they did it like
if it was on the ground,
be crazy.
Yeah, right. I'd be sitting there like, oh my god.
Like you just get back to town and you're just drenched, and you're just like, I need a meal. Here's your meat.
Yeah. Also, I will say, talking about like fucking meals, that the old grandma feline in World, she like massages that meat. It's like so much, and the sound design as well. I'm sorry, but when she's kind of like. I'm like, oh man, I'm glad there's a skip scene button because I'm like pushing it. I'm like, get me past this scene, please.
I think that's the thing. Like they did animations for like the food and stuff, but I think like the earlier Monster Hunters, it's just here's your fucking meal, fucko, on you go.
Yeah, and like going back to like Tri as well. You literally just sat there, just ate your food really quickly, and that was you.
Yeah.
And then you were done. You were good to go. It was great.
Showed you what bonuses you got. That was it.
Exactly, yeah. You know, one thing that shit me up in Rise was when I was in my room and I walked up to the back where the big poster is. The poster actually like flips round. It's a wall. It's a false wall that flips round. And there's this like cat there that's like, he's literally standing like this. And he speaks to you and he gives you like weird facts and stuff.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm being so serious right now.
What? He's going home to go to turn on his switch and go, I need to see this cat.
I need
to see this palico.
He talks about himself in third person as well, which is weird, and he's got this like weird name. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's like when you go into your room on the left, you've got the like the cat that looks after your house.
Sure.
Behind the house cat, yeah. Behind him, you talk to the wall, basically, and the wall then flips around and there's a cat.
God bless Japan.
Capcom. Yeah.
What the hell? I've never encountered that. Admittedly, there's not much reason to go into your house.
Yeah, except for the aesthetic. That's it. But there's not a huge amount to really have in your room. But in World, talking about like the immersion of it.
If you enjoy the world, the room building, the options are there.
Oh right. Okay.
You never actually have to go into your room.
Yeah,
Story-wise.
it never prompted me to go in there, so I didn't
You
even
never
know I
really,
had one.
you never really need to go into your Rise. The Moral Village is the hut just before you go into the sort of where the Rose is and the bloody rooms.
Yeah, I think there needs to be. I say needs to be. It'd be nice to have a little like quest or something like that in there, or like stuff to get, or even like you have to go specifically to him rather than to your housekeeper rather than somebody else for like deliverables to get like ornaments and stuff.
Yeah,
for
just
the
to
room.
like kind of feel it out and
If you want to
like, make it up.
If you go
Yeah, exactly. But there's been quite a resurgence for World. I think a lot of people have played through Rise, Sunbreak, and basically completed everything that you need to complete. So I think people are looking for that world. They're looking for that immersion.
Well, that's the World is. World's brilliant. I think World, the nice one, is just one of the best ones. But recency bias stuff like that being that involved sort of shit on Rise and Sunbreak.
Yeah.
The people that are that recent to it that only came into the world need to remember that's the way Capcom, or that's the way the Monster Hunter series has basically always been. It's been a major console release, then a handheld console. It's been sort of back and forth the whole time. The only one that didn't really do that was the first Monster Hunter. They were basically all PSP after that.
But
basically.
But PSP was in,
And then Tri went to Wii.
Because that was when the Wii came out as well.
And Tri Ultimate came out on Wii U, and then DS.
Yeah.
And then Generations came out on DS. No, 4 came out on DS.
Yep.
And then Generations came out on DS. And Wii U, I think 4 came out on Wii U, I can't remember. And then Generations came out for Switch. Generations Ultimate, came out for Switch.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't play Generations Ultimate.
I did, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. But I think...
And then World came out on the PS.
PS4. But I think as well, the
And
thing with World...
And eventually PC and stuff like that.
Yeah, true.
But I think the thing with World, for that example, is a lot of people, like, the quality of life that Monster Hunter World gave made people be like, oh, Rise doesn't click for us, because they didn't, a lot of them didn't play the previous generations.
Like Rise was sort of a middleware.
Yeah, Rise was very much like bridging the gap between what
better.
capabilities they could do and going back to the more root style of doing it.
Yeah.
However, him and I have been playing World recently.
Sure.
From Rise, and I love World, but Rise is, I prefer the movement in Rise. It's just so much faster. Rise than get places. Like we were running around the world hunting a monster and just how long it took to get places. When you played Rise, and you're going, I can get here on Rise in under that
quick,
time. Like
the Palamutes were great.
Palamutes a good thing for it. Don't get me wrong, so obviously that's the gimmick of Rise is the Palamute and the silk and the wire bugs.
Yeah.
Just like World's sort of one was. Actually, I don't know what the World's gimmick was.
The wire.
Clutch Claw.
Yeah.
That was it. But that came out in Iceborne. That didn't come out in
it didn't come out in World.
Yeah. Like,
So World, I think then, like the whole
World really had this researching.
Yeah, I do totally agree though with it is slower going back to World. I think Rise had a lot. I say a lot. Rise had a good few quality of life updates. I really liked gathering the songbirds as well. They give you like more armor, HP.
I don't like the wild climbing.
No, you're not a fan.
No, see the actual endemic life, like the Buckybear and stuff like that. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Give you extra rewards. So you go around collecting Firefly, and I'm not a fan of it. I really don't like it.
Yeah.
So I prefer having like the HP that I can get there instead of just running around the map. It just takes time. What I wanted to do is hunt this monster, so create something or complete a request and complete another. And if you don't collect them, you're at not a big disadvantage, but you're at a disadvantage if you're not going to achieve
Yeah.
or as much stamina as you can or defense. I get that it's good. It's good in the sense of if you want to just be like overpowered, run around the whole map and collect it.
Yeah.
And you'll have a 10 times it's the time it takes to do that.
Yeah.
And then your skill level on top of that,
Yep.
if you can kill the monster, depending on how long it takes you to kill them, how quickly you can kill that monster at the same time.
Well, yeah. So it's time plus effort equals reward.
Yeah.
At the end of it is
Yeah.
does that match
But
up?
even then, yeah, it's the same reward. Like the only time you'll change if you find that dead in life, like lucky bird.
No, but no. So, but I mean, as in the reward, as in like, is it worth going to do all that for whatever you're trying to do?
Yeah.
because you're
That's-
doing, you're
but
getting
that's-
all that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
even
just
without
talk
all
about-
that,
yeah.
even without all that, you get the same rewards.
Yeah.
You're charging the exact same rewards at the end of the
Yeah.
quest. that you
Yeah,
would.
completely.
without
And,
it.
and so it just becomes that way where you're like, what was the point in doing?
Yeah.
Like, and you never want to think that like a system
So most I do is like if I'm on the way to the monster, right, most of the time, there's a few on that route. you
yeah,
have
I'll
to
just
go
go.
far off. But sometimes they are if you want to go directly. Like the first ancient ruin map, first map basically.
Yeah.
You have to go in between some of the places, get the bushes that have more of hiding.
Yeah.
When you actually technically never need to go near them because they're all in the patch. You just go past them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you. While playing Rise, I never went out my way to get any of them. Like, look, if it's in my way, like the direct path to the monster, great. If it's not, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, but I think Rise, one of the main things for Rise for me was the rampage,
I like Rampage.
which
That's
was like
the-
a very unique.
just
gimmick.
like that's like the siege.
Yes.
That's like their version of the siege. It's very. I like Rampage.
Yeah.
The Rampage is like defense wise. Don't get me wrong, they were very repetitive.
Yes.
Like as in just in general, but they were fun. Like the first few times you do it, I was like, oh, this is actually a unique experience.
Yeah.
Plus, getting the ballista and the cannons to help with the Apex monsters at the end. Fighting the Apex normally is just like. Instead, you know what? I'm just going to blow it up with a cannon. Instead.
Yeah. I think that's the cool thing is you get to see like your own setups. And the wave system was really cool. The rewards were unique with like the power up of the weapons.
The
Which
Rampage weapon.
The rampage weapon.
Yes, that was good because they had augmenting weapons in the
World.
world, so I think they kind of carried that over.
Yeah.
One thing,
And also bringing it was fun with getting the village characters coming and helping with sort of like the like
yes,
faster
like the chiefs and
and
stuff
stuff,
and the
yeah.
twins. Those were actually
you
really
know
cool.
what
Yes, those were great.
I
Honestly.
know sorry, it's been on.
Oh yeah.
Let's see more.
Another thing I loved that they did in Rise was the fact that they had armor sets like all together. That was huge for me because it was such a massive pain being like, right, I'm going to upgrade my armor set. You know, I'm like 600 hours into the game. I've got most of the armors. Which armor is it again? And I have to click through them all.
Yeah, you have to go down.
And I'm like,
You
cool.
have to go through the dialogue and then be like, wait, is that the one with the right gen?
And
Is
then
that
you've
one?
got the wee cut scene as well of it rolling along, and you're like, okay,
Nice one.
that's cool. The first 100
Yes.
Yes. You're like, come on, man. Like, if you had like the skip cutscene part, which I have tried, it doesn't work.
No.
I get it. It's like 4 or 5 seconds, but I'm like, over the time I've played this game,
Yeah.
that is like a couple hours at least of me going through that one animation. Like, just I don't need it. I don't. Like,
You know, when I think of like things about the game that I don't like, or that bugged me, or anything really, that is not one of them.
is it not?
No, not even remotely. Like,
It's
I
quite
can't even-
niche.
Yeah,
I see why
the
they bug me.
Yeah,
I see why they suck. I don't like
yeah.
this.
No, I'm with you on that. That's 100%.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's also trauma from
Yes.
Monster Freedom Unite because the PlayStation
Listen.
hitbox was ridiculous.
Oh
But, like-
man, I'm sitting there 3 areas away, like mining, and I get hit,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
Yeah.
it was horrible. But no, I just
Yeah.
I see why.
I think
it has wings.
it was the problem. The problem for me was like, I think I was very new to the game at the time. Yeah, so like extremely.
It's not where you want to start, man. When you're fighting that thing.
But like you don't realize that you can like sonic bomb it. Like that never
Why with the water, yeah.
that thought never crosses
But
your
never,
head.
yeah,
initially.
never tells you.
Yeah,
It
because
doesn't tell you.
No,
in
the-
Freedom Unite
mo-
doesn't tell you to sort of bomb it and try and get it.
Yeah, Monster Hunter back then was just the definition of good fucking luck, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
We're gonna chuck you into the world, fight stuff.
yeah, which I loved,
Yeah.
like truly, like
Yeah.
not having like a general like. I mean, I love story games and I love what World did with their story, But like just getting fucking chucked into something and being like, I hunt shit and see what happens.
Yeah.
Like I think that old school way of doing it is so fun.
Yeah,
It was fun.
it's like
Because it's so grassroots and
like the most
Yeah.
thing you knew about it is that you're defending whatever village you're starting in
Yeah.
any game. And
that was it.
So it's
yeah,
like, there's a hunter guild somewhere. There's
Yep.
a big place where the hunters, where there's a headquarters.
Yep.
You've never seen that place in the open
No.
game.
Yeah.
And the one person you get a quest from is the only liaison between you and that guild. That
Yeah.
head guild.
or it's just some fucking old guy that's like, I run this village, go and slay this monster. And,
Yeah.
and then you go out and you're like, oh, it's a Plesioth, cool. And then it's in the water, firing just laser beams of water, pressurized water at you, and you're like, come out this water so I can wear your skin. And so I can make you into a weapon. So I can complete this quest. And then I go
What's
back
so-
to the old guy.
What sociopath uses Plesioth weapons?
I don't know. I think I made the armor for something.
Really?
I think it was so I could swim quicker. I can't remember.
That might have been a
You
thing
can't
that
swim
happened.
for them, right?
I think,
was only
oh,
introduced in
you know
Tri.
what it was?
No,
It's
but-
Tri Ultimate. I
Yeah,
was thinking of
PvP
when
Tri,
Plesioth was in. Yeah. And then they released a green one. Like, why?
Oh yeah, I remember the green one.
If Plesioth is so universally hated, why are you bringing out like a subspecies that's basically the same thing, but it's green?
Because maybe it was the color. It was the reason we didn't like it. Did you ever consider that?
I'm about to throw you out that window. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not.
I don't think I could either.
But no, I think like that was the whole thing though, like that very uniqueness of you're just going out and fucking killing shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Like I love that, and it literally felt like you were just taking random parts of a monster and just be like, fuck it, this is my weapon now.
Yeah.
Like as a bow gunner, do you know how long it took me to realize I could make my own bullets? I had like at least 100 plus
You have
hours.
to remember, it doesn't really tell you all this.
It doesn't count. Like,
No, that's
it
very
doesn't
true,
tell
it
you
does.
anything.
In retrospect-
In the original games, it doesn't, or the older games, it does not tell you
Yeah.
any of that.
I learned
You
as
have,
well.
you have to just guess what the hell is going on. It's like you wanted to World and Rise make it easy to get,
Yeah.
to get OP builds with gems and jewels and
Yep.
stats for the armor. Do you think you got told that in the original ones?
I know, because
You
I
look
played
at
it.
you look at stuff and you go, I guess this might be okay. You have no idea what it does.
Did you have any idea? Because the thing as well, the
The skills
skill system.
and the
doesn't
older
tell you
games, it
anything.
doesn't tell you nothing. You were looking at stuff going, this says this.
Slugger, what does Slugger do?
Yeah. Or,
And try. Let me tell you, I struggled to capture a Great Jagged. This was me like coming back to the game after I played a bit on the like PSP and like you had like obviously the DS as well. And then I don't know why I just kept either killing it or there was one quest I did where I ran out of time.
well,
and
fighting a great dragon.
yeah,
You mean
trying
the,
to capture
the
it.
start? You mean
Yeah,
start off
the
with-
first monster.
Yeah.
But it was a capture quest, so I kept killing it accidentally because there's no indicator that it's ready to be captured apart from it limping away,
Sure.
which it never really did until it did a lot of damage to it, and then it just died. There was no, it just kept fighting me, and it died. And usually,
That's also if they changed it.
that's very true because they do
There's
have
like
to
a
be
little
skull.
skull.
Exactly.
Yeah, but not even that. Capture quests don't really exist.
No.
That's
There's-
true as
there's-
well.
I'm
Actually,
pretty sure the most I've seen of the capture quests recently was when I was playing Rise. There was a chat, there was a request, not a quest,
Mhm.
it's a request from one of the
Mhm.
random NPCs.
yeah, like an
Capture
action.
one of the monsters. That's it.
Yeah.
That's one thing
But
I
even
miss
then-
as well.
You can capture a monster easily. And try and World. And not try, sorry, Rise and World.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It tells you basically you capture it.
So one unique thing about when I was playing Monster Hunter World, I unintentionally decided I was going to capture everything. I went through the
Sweet.
entire game capturing every monster until I got to Elder Dragons, and I'm like, well, fuck, this is where my run. Like, I can't capture that. Like,
Yeah.
but it was just really interesting. Like, I don't know, get like a baseline of reward. Like, understand.
One thing, and off the back of that, talking about a request, I miss subquests. Like while you're on a quest to like kill a monster,
Oh,
like
like
break
sub-
it.
subquests like break a wing, sever a
But they
tail.
did that with they do that with World.
Yeah,
It's not the same way.
Oh yeah, because they've just.
there's
Yeah,
that
it's not-
hunter thing or break a certain body part
Yeah,
or collect
Yeah,
mushrooms.
I like that in the actual quest. Oh yeah, because they've turned that into like the sub quests. Yeah.
Some quests don't really exist.
Yeah, because they are their own thing.
Yourself.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
I do love investigations as well when
I
you're
thought-
picking up tracks.
I thought,
Another favorite thing. Like I love it's just that excitement of being like, oh, I wonder what I've got. Like for some reason in Master Rank Quest, if you pick up a Great Jagras footprint, you go in and you've got an investigation for like a Kashala Deora, and you're like, but that
Yep.
that makes no sense, and it's
Maybe-
tempered for some
Yeah,
reason.
maybe they're buddies. You know.
Yeah, honestly, that is great. Honestly,
I
say
thought
not great,
I thought the investigation system was really, really good. Like,
Well, it made sense because they're supposed to be research.
yeah, and as well.
You're the fifth fleet is supposed to be a researcher. Actually, every
Yeah.
fleet that's went through the world is supposed to be researching.
Yeah.
Apart from one of them.
But I think
you're just a hunter.
Yeah.
You're the hunter that's to go with them to defend.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
use them. That's
Yeah.
basically what that was.
But I think I also made it easier of like, oh, you've been hunting for like a gem something, and you can get a quest that's literally like you get 4 gold like chances to like get this unique
Yeah.
like
Mm.
item. That's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
It's such a good
On the
concept.
flip side, the melding, that's something I did not enjoy seeing particularly.
Did you go into the thing too much?
Yeah.
Albeit it was good if you did need it, but
It's a nightmare if you're trying to get the general.
exactly.
I went
But-
way too
But I didn't enjoy the fact that you can just put these things together. And,
Yeah.
you've got a mantle. I'm like, I feel that takes away from what Monster Hunter's kind of about. It's about that random chance. It's about going out grinding for hours on end for this one fucking thing and never getting it, or getting lucky, and then you like get 3 in like one like quest reward screen, which you sent me a picture.
I sent him a
of this.
picture yesterday.
Eh,
I got Raffles Ruby. I was going
oh
Raffles.
yeah, oh man, that was so ridiculous. That was like,
Palico funded the Raffles Ruby.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for Raffles.
what are they actually?
The hunter was for Pyro.
For the buzzards.
No, Pyro. Spider from Rise.
Rakna Kadaki. That's it. I think it's something like that.
It was for Pyro one of them. And
Was the
there
Raffles
there was
there?
a Raffles in the
Oh
air.
right, okay. I was
Well,
like, bro,
I never touched the Raffles once.
Massive.
I don't know how the Palico got the thunder.
went off on an adventure.
I got the ruby in the end screen. I was like,
Yeah.
well, okay, I'll take it.
What are the chance? I'd love to know what the percentages
Well,
of actually.
for getting one off.
Not
thunder
because I
weapons.
know like carving one is a very low chance.
You talk
but
about thunder.
Having a palico actually plunder that.
Do you want me to tell you the actual math behind it for various games, or do we want to just say it's a fuck ton?
I think that's maybe a separate
Yeah.
video that we can do, which would be fun actually delving into that.
Dude, oh my god, man! I went into like so much like there was so much math
Yeah.
and so much research,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, I agree with you on the system of like.
Being like, I can just make a mantle,
Yeah.
and it's like that's literally the rarest thing.
But I think like I think the issue for me is I'm very much like I will grind this out. This is my purpose. This is what
Yes.
I want to do, and that's the motivation for me. But I can totally understand people being like, I've hunted this for like fucking 20 times. I've not got it. I've captured it. I've cut its tail off. I've done this
You
and
do
that.
everything
And,
right,
yeah, and you just don't get it. So-
That was me in try for Diablos Majestic Horns, which were I was like, okay, so I need to break the horn.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I break one horn. Okay, maybe I break one horn and capture it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the right horn.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what I need to do.
you're kind of like,
Yeah.
you're kind of like pseudo,
Yeah.
kind of like trying to figure out like superstitious. Like when we first played like Freedom Unite, we had no concept how to get a tail, like or a gem, sorry, and we'd be like, I got a gem. What? How do I-
Eventually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to do
The
this.
confusion.
Yeah, just the confusion because like
It's not like Google and stuff like that was vaguely used. It wasn't
No,
like,
it was
not
all
a thing,
was.
but
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same as this now. Like
There
you could
was-
go anywhere.
There was no Monster
On the
Hunter
internet.
wiki.
no, there
It
wasn't.
wasn't really no.
There wasn't. I think that is
We
genuine.
eventually got the wiki, but then it was mostly just for key quests only for percentages for some things. It was Key Quest and Progressive
Yeah,
Story.
that was one thing I think Monster Hunter did.
And they never told you about Key Quest
or if you did
Freedom Unite stuff like that.
if you did get good information, you had to cross-reference it and
With someone else
translate
who
it
never
back
heard
from Japanese to English because they'd done the work, but we fucking didn't.
No.
Like,
We had no idea. No.
no. But I think that's one of the things that they made. They streamlined a bit more. They made it a bit better. They made it more focused, which was like World gave you so much information, so much more information.
Yeah.
You could look up what a monster is weak to, what you carve from it, like what parts of its body are particularly like cuttable or breakable.
Yeah,
Or
is it good against like blunt damage? What are the what are the stats for them against?
You
What
got-
are the thresholds
yeah.
for like poison, blast, paralysis?
you got so much information.
But it was good the way that World didn't just hand you it. It's like you have to go out and hunt these
Yeah.
monsters. You have to continuously hunt them.
You have to get the research level up.
It's very much know thy enemy.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. I love that. Here's a question: what in the entirety of the Monster Hunter franchise, what's your favourite monster?
easy Rathian.
Rathian. Yeah. Is it any particular like one, like normal, like Dread Queen, pink, gold?
Yeah, so I think for me the one that stands out obviously is the most iconic, being the Green Rathian, the normal Rathian.
Yeah.
But the pink one, oh boy! When I first ever saw that, I was like, oh my god, sweet baby Jesus, this is good. Like, because the Bokan version of it was so cool. It was like Rathian Heart or something.
Oh yeah. Wrathheart, yeah.
It was just top tier.
Top tier, yeah. I love the Rathian Hunting Horn. It's something that's like royal cord, and it's just this big bell and a stick, and I'm like, that's all I need in life. Yeah. What's yours, Brendan? Okay. Do you have like a top like 3?
Nargacuga.
Nargacuga is a good
I
one.
like a Dalamadur. I just think it's
Dalamadur.
a great concept of monster.
Yeah. Dalamadur is very cool.
The Gen fights are just fun. I like the Gen run for the fight because I enjoyed the fight. I really enjoyed the
You
fight.
were the ship captain. That was you. You were. Yeah, dude. That was you.
I think a monster more recently that got me so excited was the Nergigante.
Yeah, Nergigante was
That
good. Great flagship,
What about
honestly.
you? What's your favorite?
My favourite all-time monster is Lagiacrus.
Yeah.
All-time
Abyssal
favourite. The Abyssal one. That first time fighting that's a fight you go into and I genuinely felt fear. Going into it and just seeing it all like curled up, and I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm actually like not surviving this fight. Because it's fine, you've got the normal one, and then you've got, the ivory one, which is all on land, which is cool. I felt like that fight needed like a bit more instead of it just being, like a cruise on land. Here you are, here's some lightning and stuff.
Yeah.
But the Abyssal one, just like any expectation I had blown out the water. And I'm like, this is really difficult. And I'm underwater. I'm really slow. Oh my god, what's it doing? Why is it doing that? Oh my, yep, I'm back at camp. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have a lot of those moments.
I do have a lot of those moments. Yeah, I just seem to
I think.
don't do well.
Actually, I think like for nostalgic sake, the first ever Elatrian fight
Oh, and
Right.
try.
was
That was great. That was great running that as a group.
I'm the only one who's beaten the Electro. One of them.
Solo,
I-
yeah.
I got it solo.
Oh, you killed it.
Killed it.
Yeah.
I did it solo.
I've not done it yet. No.
Oh,
Same with Worlds, like Iceborne's Fatalis as well. You need to
I'm
fight
not
that.
finished the class. I fought it once, but I didn't
I
actually finish it.
haven't done the Talos, but I got the Elatrian.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
Solo with the Electro.
yeah.
It's a
Nice.
Bokan Bro.
Yeah, that's a rough. At least it's not like original try, because then it's like, you have half the armor of everybody, and then we've got the Elatri on there as well. Although one thing that we did have with yourself, Stephen, was at either side there were these 2 platforms of rocks,
Yep.
where if we got the Elatri on over to them and it charged them, it would get stuck. And we always told you to assume the
Is that
position.
actually the mechanics? I never knew. I just stood up on the
Oh no,
rock.
that was the
Yeah.
mechanic.
No, I
That's
just
why.
stood up on the rock, yeah.
And then you would stand there just blasting it really, and then you had obviously the ballista binder up the back as well to bring it out the sky, which was just that whole fight. That was an end game fight and it was beautifully done. Having the Elatron being like using like every element, like it was like, how can you like, you need to like properly like strategize against exactly how you're going to deal with it.
World's Elatron. World's Elatron. So much more of this monster.
Yeah.
Try Elatron.
Yeah.
The original Elatron got nothing. World Elatron.
I totally agree.
Like World's Elatron's like phase shift now is so deadly. It's so cool, but like
and then its ultimate one attack is dust.
I can never avoid it. Like it took me like 30 attempts to understand how to avoid it. That's how bad I am.
Was it the
How good it is.
You can heal for a lot of it. Just
Yeah.
brilliant. Like, because it takes your health that far down. But
It
leaves red. Health.
Oh, so it does, yeah. Oh,
And
honestly.
that's a way to heal as well.
Same with the tried Tanzir chips. I raved about them.
Yeah, but you like Australia jerky as well, though.
Yeah,
So
so
the same
jerky.
thing.
Australian jerky did it. Yep, that was the shit, man. Honestly, because I didn't realize that when it was red, and then I ate it, and it had healed the entire red gauge of my health bar. And I was like, let's go, bring them on every quest. Shame I only get 5 of them.
There's a mechanic that I remember. I'm pretty sure it was like Freedom Unite stuff. No, it wasn't also Freedom Unite. It happened in Generation. Where like if you like crouch down on the ground.
That's the
Yeah, you had the bleed effect. Yeah.
If you were, because the Seduros.
Yeah, that was it.
It's
Yeah.
the same in Rise. Seduros can give you the effect in Rise.
Mm.
But if you take Australia jerky or whichever the equivalent in that game is, it removes it basically.
I never remembered that, so I would always just crouch down and just wait for the bleed to go off.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Oh man, it was so good.
I think that's the thing though, like all these different quests and like all the different mechanics and stuff. There are two kind of people though. The people that actually like prepare all their stuff for the quest, or the people that just go out blind and go, fuck it, let's hope. And I think as a bow gunner, I have to be fucking prepared now.
Yeah, and then you play like 100 hours of try, you don't realise you can make your own bullets.
Yeah, oh my god, bro.
The amount of money, like in-game money, you just spend on just buying bullets. Buying ammunition.
And Rise right now, currently, I think I have stockpiled 100k of every bullet. Like close to
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to ever deal with it.
Yeah,
I've heard that in World recently that I have 2k of every type of bow code.
Yeah.
I barely use bows.
Yeah.
But I have 2k of every type of one essentially.
I mean, yeah, there's that. But I remember when me and Brendan first kind of went back to Worlds, we both logged in and we were looking through like our items and stuff, and I was like, oh, sell all trading items. We were like, what's this? And oh my god, we pressed the button and we each made like 4 million.
It's like,
because
oh
we
my
played
God.
through, because that was when like it was Kulgatarov, and obviously you're like fighting, you're in the guiding lands, fighting tempered monsters, and you get a shitload of like steel, silver, gold eggs, and I don't think we ever really registered that. We were like, oh, that's a quest reward, we'll leave that. It's not a usable thing.
Yeah.
Usable, yeah. I know it gave you money, but I never
Yeah.
really at that point in the game, I never really money.
Yeah, exactly. Because
So I never bothered selling trading lanes.
we had that much of it, really.
No. I've been that broke bitch and Monster Hunter before. Like,
That was me and
That was
Rise.
him, yeah, that's
That
how
was
it
me and
was.
Rise, and then I realised, and then I made like 5 million.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I maybe should have realised this beforehand, because I was grinding so many quests, man. So many quests, and I was getting such low money. And I'd go to maybe like 10, 12 quests. I'd make one upgrade a weapon. I'd need to do it again, and I wouldn't realise I'd literally be stockpiling all of these gold eggs, and it's like these could have been my saviour for like a month.
Yep.
And then I sold them all, and now I'm actually in a pretty good place.
I think as well though, like the more it's kind of weird because the more you spend, like later on, like upgrading armor and stuff, it's insane prices. But like it doesn't matter. But like when you're like lower level, you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can afford this armor.
I'm never going to financially recover.
yeah. I'm like I need this extra armor so I don't die to this monster.
Yep.
But I can't afford it, so I guess I'm gonna go hunt this Jake Jaggy. Oh my god.
Jake Graggy?
Yeah, Jake Graggy. That's what we call him in the that's the
That was the
street
original
That's
name
the
of the
street name.
Heroes. That was the original name of the Great Heroes.
That's so
like-
good, man.
But like, yeah, it was just one of those situations where you're like, well, fuck, what do I do? Like, I have to go like fucking do these like stupid quests to get this gold, and it's like or Z, sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
that zany.
Yeah,
That's it,
it's- man.
I do love some Easter eggs as well. I know that it's an obvious one. I do have a small list of Easter eggs to go through. So Poogie, obviously, the pet pig that you have in it, is in every single game. In the first game, he only had the one outfit, which was I think the Emperor's New Clothes, I think they were called. And you could only pet him. And I think it's hilarious that there's this rumour that's spread that's so ingrained in the Monster Hunter community that if you pet Poogie and if you pick him up, you'll get higher rewards.
I always thought that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember hearing that.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, the producers and devs, they've spoken about this and they've said it doesn't, but nobody believes them.
No,
Not one pair. Everyone's like, nah, that's sus. I don't believe you.
I done it and got a gem once. That's my methodology.
He gets that one gem
He
after
gets that
hundreds
one
of
gem.
hours.
Yeah.
After
No.
that one time, he's like, "Yep, this is it. It works.
Well,
It works, guys."
That's how it works. That's how it works, man.
You
That's super
sound like a
special.
conspiracy
Yeah.
theorist there.
Hey, okay. No. I was gonna rant about it, but no. I think that's the thing though, because there wasn't that much information back then,
Yeah.
and so people didn't know drop rates or anything, but they're like,
Nice work, baby.
it worked. I mean, yeah.
Another good one I think really funny is in the Monster Hunter Rise Gathering Hub. There are two drummers. Do you know the two drummer cats that you see?
Sure.
You know what their names are? Badum and Tish.
I've never noticed. I've never noticed.
Yep. Is that not?
Amazing.
I think that's brilliant. I think there was a game dev that was just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I've noticed. This is great."
You know what upsets me?
What?
Baby Tetsu Cowboy that you can't go on the hunt or you can't actually have. That the
I
Master
want
Hojo
mouse.
says on.
Yeah.
I want mouse. I
Yeah.
want mouse. I know Palamutes. Fine. All good. I want
Play
the baby
Monster Hunter
tets.
Stories.
I want the baby tets.
Because the thing is, yeah, Monster Hunter
It's the one
Stories
that
does do
has
that
stories you
really
can
well.
make monsters.
I do love as well, you know, the Huntsman.
And two, Monster Hunter Stories 2 is on the Switch.
It is,
Oh,
yeah,
damn
that's
it.
very true.
Because
Need to
I'm
grab it.
tempted to get it because I've got the first one on the DS.
Mhm.
I've still not completed it properly, but I've got the first one on the
Mhm.
DS.
Yeah.
I'm going through it.
Dancement.
It's great, honestly, man. I know that there's the Huntsman as well, who was in like a lot of the like later Monster Hunter games. I think he was in a couple of the early ones as well.
Mm.
But he's like, you know, got the I
The
don't know
Rathian
why
armor.
he's got the Rathian armor, but he's also got the Wyvern Fire longsword, and I'm like, do you not have other weapons? Because surely fire against
Yeah.
Rathian, you know, does not really work. But he's it's Monster Hunter Portable 2, like 2nd gen. He's been hunting for like 40 years. He's got the same armor, and he also knows the admiral of the 5th Fleet, which I think is really interesting. So I think he's like really also his armor is just so sick.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the high rank like Rathian armor
Well, I mean,
as well, which is very, very cool.
he appears.
I know that the next Easter egg is quite interesting. So the Meowscaler chef, right?
Okay.
Turns out he was actually a hunter for the Admiral, but he broke his weapon fighting the monster. And then he decided to take up cooking instead.
So you begin the show.
So yeah, he basically became like the chef. And obviously he was in the Monster Hunter film, which we'll get into.
No.
I
don't want
Don't think we should.
So-
I don't want that.
This I found out literally a few days ago as well. The excitable A-lister,
Yes.
Who-
Very wrong.
yes, who's in Monster Hunter World, who
It's
is
4.
he is in 4 as well. He's in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. He is actually they are the same person. So he goes from the Ace Cadet in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate to the A-lister. Not particularly useful in either game, but he is there. Did you guys know that there's a 1 hour long Netflix special called Monster Hunter Legends of the
Yes.
Guild? Have you
Yes,
watched
I
it?
have not watched it, no, but I know it's there.
I was thinking we will review it
What?
and we can watch it. I've never seen it. It's about the excitable A-lister. I don't have high hopes considering how he's been throughout the games, But
He's
we'll
a real Cinderella story.
we'll see how it goes.
No, if we're going on what
Rags
happened
to
in the world.
riches.
Yeah, in Worlds.
They
Yeah.
didn't do anything a lot. I mean, like, not many characters do anything a lot
Yeah.
because
No.
you are literally the main character
Yes.
in all these
Yeah.
games.
But
That's the fun thing about Rise, though. You can take forward where you know quests and something.
exactly.
You can take people like you do their forward quests and you can just get enjoy it.
hmm
Yeah.
Which I think's actually quite cool.
I mean, it's very much like a rising of ranks.
True.
You play
Very
the
true.
game. Like at the start, they're like, I don't even know you can kill a Jaggy. Let's see. And then they're like, this giant new monster that we have no idea about, you need to go fight it. Like, that's what it becomes. And you're
Yeah.
like, how did I go from that to that in a
Like-
month when this guy's been training for 30 fucking years?
Yeah.
Send him.
Yes.
What's he doing? It's like in
It's
Astera.
it's in Rise, Master Tashi.
Yeah.
He's like
He just
the one who
went-
trained you,
Yeah.
supposed to be a hunter
Yeah.
for however long. He's just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, now you go fight Nargon.
And talking
You
about
go fight the two god, the thunder god people that are supposed to destroy
yeah,
the
exactly.
destroy the village. It's like,
and you're like, yeah, thanks guys, that's great. Because like talking about like obviously the hunter with the Rathian armor, it's like he's literally just sitting there in Astera doing nothing. He's not doing anything.
He's a Rathian hunter. What do you expect from us?
Yeah. Well, not a huge amount apparently.
Yeah.
But I thought there was going to be a Monster Hunter Tri moment where the Argosy captain gives you his longsword, which is an amazing longsword in Tri.
It's cool. I like
That's
I
cool.
like that whole thing where you see him have his longsword the whole game and then he just gives you a
Yeah.
point. It's just like that's cool.
Yeah, no, that is really really cool.
It would be nice if there was like other characters that gave you like
Different weapons, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of a difference of weapons,
Not a weeb.
and also
not a weeb. No,
Not
I
a
just
weeb.
shoot a gun.
Yeah.
I use my gun.
bang
move.
bang.
Yeah. It's like yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, speaking about specials, cinematic, the Monster Hunter movie.
Why are we talking about the Monster Hunter movie?
I feel it needs spoken about.
It doesn't need
somewhat.
spoken about. It's horrible.
Mila Jovovich
So-
needs to stop.
I think.
I'm not attacking. I just thought it was a bad movie.
Yeah, because me and
It's Resident Evil, and then she did it for that.
so it was the same director as
I'm eating
well.
my feelings.
Yeah, okay, keep going. The thing is with the Monster Hunter movie, I feel like I set myself up for disappointment because I think the first time I watched it, I went to the cinema to watch it. I paid I paid money because I was that excited to go and watch it. Right? Yeah, I know.
Excited?
I was excited to see it. Yeah, listen. I will admit this. I've never seen Resident Evil. I've never wanted to because there was like that many films and I just heard bad things about them and I heard that it was just a story that went off the rails and they kept like chopping back in between pieces of lore and it was just like that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for some slaying some monsters and a good story.
Yeah.
And then
The Monster Hunter movie did not do that.
I mean, the Resident Evil movie, I think, took like 40 minutes to Resident Evil to get to the zombies.
well, let me tell you something here, Steve. 45 minutes into the Monster Hunter film, nothing happened. Nothing has happened at all. Because I know you watched it on release, so to kind of like remind you.
Yeah.
It starts off where
I didn't pay to see it. But
Mila is leading this like specialist.
Not did I seen it last week when I took him to Costco.
Yep.
I came back here, we watched it.
Yep. And us with our girlfriends Juliana and Kaylee. So it was good to have obviously us being like hardcore fans of the franchise.
Sure.
Juliana and Kaylee like hearing bits and pieces, but really
Having no
ultimately
idea.
knowing nothing about it. They came out the movie how they came in. They knew nothing.
They knew nothing more about Monster Hunter apart from what we told them.
Yep.
The whole story.
And I kind of felt the
And
same.
even then, we were watching it going, that's not right.
I have also
That's right,
Yep.
but it's not supposed to happen that way.
I've never seen you, Brendan, put your head in your hands with like so much like just
I was
pure
drinking at that
disappointment.
point.
Yeah.
It's when the commander comes down, and it is just like, you can tell he's strung up by something because his
Yeah.
feet are level. It's not like
Yeah.
he's ready
He
for
come-
impact. He comes straight down.
Straight down. There is
with
no
a
like
charge blade, and I'm like, he slams the charge blade on the ground, and a big burst of fire comes out. I'm like, that's not even how charge blades work. I get it's a movie and it's supposed to be
Sure.
exaggerated.
I mean, they
and
can take
well,
artistic
they can take
liberty.
artistic, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting going, that's not how a charge blade works.
it was
I used to use charge more than try. That's not how that worked.
It was just
But just the pacing of the movie was not great.
atrocious.
There was no real reason for anything in that movie to happen. It felt like that. The most story that I felt, in my opinion, the most story that was there was them trying to get the story between the main character and the hunter.
Yeah, they're trying to like bridge it.
They were trying to bridge like the speech thing and stuff like that.
Doesn't work.
And then it gets to the point in the movie where they eventually find the commander. Turns out the commander can speak English, but not Monster Hunter language, as well as Monster Hunter language. Sorry,
but that's not explained.
no, it's not. But the most that gets explained is that people have crossed over before.
Yeah,
and then you're like, okay,
you're like, is
fair enough.
that how you know English? Like if he'd explained it and said,
or maybe he was the
taught
one that
me your
crossed over
language.
to the Monster Hunter world, and that's why he can speak English because he was originally, you know.
yeah, right. You
Yeah.
know what pissed me off as well? There was like this. He was explaining like the admiral. He was explaining the kind of like plan for getting to this tower, which is apparently causing these storms. And he said these people are keeping this guardian here to like protect the tower, and it is a Rathalos. Which I'm like, that's kind of sick. It's a Rathalos. We then see it due to the lighting and it's raining, and just like the general lighting of the film, we weren't sure if it was a normal one or an Azure one.
Okay.
Because
it was so dark.
Because the way the lighting worked,
and there
changed
was
the color of the monster.
and there was lightning that was blue. It was
The
weird.
reason you know it was red is when they eventually go back to the normal world and Rathalos crosses that bridge as well, and they all end up just jumping to our world essentially.
It's
red.
Yeah.
It's like fair enough. It's definitely a red one.
But maybe like maybe I'm giving them way too much credit, which I am.
Probably.
Probably.
But maybe that was like a cute like
I get it could be
an
Easter egg.
answer.
Like, I get that, but that
Yeah,
would be cool, right? But
given the rest of the movie,
given the rest of the movie, it didn't feel like that. For example, Narskella, like one of the original arachnid monsters.
Yes. Yeah.
There was thousands of them, which is what spiders are normally like in Los Angeles, but they seemed a lot smaller than the actual Narskella.
Yeah.
like in comparison to games. There was
I agree.
a
But I think
maximum of
scaling-
4 monsters, or 4 or 5 monsters that actually appeared in that movie.
Mhm.
It's called a Monster Hunter. 5, 6 monsters max that appeared. And even then, one of them you see for the end frame. And that's it.
Yeah, so speaking of that, which I was just going to get into, so the Rathalos is apparently this guardian of the tower. And then they defeat it. They defeat it. They then, for some reason, go back to the Monster Hunter world.
To try and stop the storms.
To try and stop the storms.
Correctly, that's
That's
one
why
of
they
the
go back
other
through.
story points as well.
And then what happens is there's then a Gore Magala that comes down.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And it's only in the end frame.
it's like maybe like a minute or two.
Then,
of frame time.
yeah.
And then they're fighting it. But
And it's slow-mo. There's random slow-mo moments in this movie that
Yeah.
make no sense. That's a slow-mo, and then in 10 credits, you don't even get to see anything.
Yeah.
It sets up. It looks like it sets up for a second movie, and I'm like,
I don't,
really,
yeah,
they're not
please
doing
don't.
well enough. to make a
Yeah,
second
oh
movie.
yeah.
I would like to see how that ends, but not in that movie.
Plus, the thing is as well, having the Rathalos being the guardian of the tower, then having a much more dangerous, much more powerful monster coming down, it's like, it kind of defeats the purpose of saying,
For spoilers, is a juvenile elder dragon technically.
Yeah.
It turns out the shooter.
exactly, yeah. And the thing is, with having the Rathalos, because the kind of like, the Admiral basically says, they put this guardian here, and I'm like, would you really be able to put a Rathalos there? The king of the skies, the flagship monster for all of the video games. It's like, would there be an explanation for some kind of like control device for the Rathalos? That could have maybe been a cool segue to have like real world devices that are on this Rathalos controlling it. And that's where the crossover is. That's where you bridge the connection, being like, they're being controlled by people from the Monster Hunter world using our world technology. And that's where you bring it in instead of just having...
It was speculation because obviously they didn't explain everything in that movie. It could have been ancient peoples. Let's remember, lots of other people's got ancient people.
That's true. That's the
why,
ancient Wyvernians.
Yeah, but also that's why technically the weapons you have in Monster Hunter aren't all the weapons.
Yeah.
The weapons that keep getting introduced, obviously there's every so often there's weapons introduced, and then if you play Frontier, there's Tonfa and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's Tonfa and what's it called? The magnet spike.
The gravity spike, yeah. So
Gravity spike.
I don't know what you mean
that's
by that, just have a gap.
yes, I'm aware. But on the gravity spike and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think
there's
so.
different weapons that have been lost to time essentially.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and when the Ravno and the Monster Hunter movie says they, I reckon it's ancient.
Yeah,
civilization.
yeah, yeah.
It's not like crossover with the real world, so to speak. In the
Yeah,
Monster Hunter world.
yeah.
I think it's Ancient Civilization. This tower was made by a cult or something like that.
Mm.
Right.
That's wild.
But yeah,
That's
I mean,
about, but
I mean,
even
as
then,
well.
it is very speculative.
Yeah,
Mm.
and it is also the like RPG, like, oh, there's a dragon that's defending this tower, like kind of trope.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like-
yeah. I feel that. Yeah.
Which I feel like that's too cheesy for a fucking raffle.
To be fair though, the thing I did set us out to this as well. That could actually be, that tower could actually be the ancient tower, wasn't it?
No, could be.
Where you fight
Yes.
silver Rathalos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Freedom Unite and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because the ancient tower is obviously an ancient tower.
Yeah, it's quite an iconic like map.
It
Well,
is
I
literally
mean, there
just-
could be it could be ancient tower, or again, we're giving it way too much credit. Or it could just be, a random fucking
I
tower.
don't know, I get that, but I'm saying if they
Absolutely.
were
Cool.
grasping
That'd
for
be so cool.
a connection, that could be a connection.
Well, because I mean, like, it would make sense why I got like it would be like shunted, like,
Yeah.
and
I
lost
think-
to time.
Yeah, I do like that though, thinking about things being like
Yeah.
lost to time, which I know is like part of the lore. I think the thing with like the Tonfa and the like gravity spike as well, it feels like they kind of fitted in, not like directly to all of the mainline weapons. It feels like they took parts off of different weapons, like the Tonfa specifically. They were quite overtuned when they first came in, and they were like, they stunned better than hammers. Yeah, like you could technically like not fly, but like you could like keep yourself in the air, but like kicking, they were great. They were basically like better than dual blades as well, which I feel probably the most hated weapon, I think, in the franchise.
No, I don't think it's the most hated weapon.
No, you don't. What do you think's the most hated?
People get annoyed at longsword users.
Longsword users, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's true, because
I
you
would
do
say,
get like
You
Once-
get flinch and stuff like that.
honestly,
And the excuse is just get flinch free.
I have been between a longsword user and a dual blade user, like with a lance, and I'm standing there just like, I feel like I'm in that scene in Hamburger Hill, where the guy gets like, he's just standing like this, he's just getting like lit up from everywhere. That's how it felt, and I'm like, I can't do anything here.
That's
I mean, you don't have that.
You're,
Yeah.
you're,
I was about to say like that sounds like
you're never close enough in the fight.
Yeah.
to-
You're like 3 miles away, like up on a hill somewhere.
that's actually something that I do want to talk about with Bowguns, was like they changed it. They've changed it throughout the years, obviously. But like, I always loved that fantasy of like, I'm gonna just be on this rock and fucking like blast the monster. But there was like your bullets would dip.
Oh, the deviation.
Like
Mhm. Yeah.
deviation's so bad in rocks.
Yeah. So
But-
deviation was worse, I think. Try
Yeah.
underwater. I think try like it set a stage for like deviation and weapons.
I didn't fucking do water combat. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna wait for this monster
to come out.
Yeah. which didn't work with the flagship.
Yeah, for Lagacrus, especially when you are on that quest, we all know like the quest where it starts off in I think area 10, I think, and then it comes to area 9, then it goes back to area 10, and you're like,
I love the Sirius as well. It's just on the water.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
yeah,
That's-
Sirius
I
as
just
well.
usually jumps on land. Sirius is
Sirius,
Yeah,
Sirius,
Sirius
is
is
Sirius is
horrible.
all in the water.
I specifically learned Greatsword to fight the Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think most hated weapon. It is. I think a lot of people say longsword. A lot of people say dual blades.
That's one of the users, I think. Is the whole thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, users.
I couldn't tell you what most of the weapons. These weapons don't work.
I think the most hated weapon, genuinely, from my speculation, would probably be like gun lance, probably.
Gunlands, yeah.
Like lance or gun lance for sure.
Why is that? Is it just?
It's
It's
too static.
Just the gameplay just doesn't work. for
Yeah,
me.
no, that's fair.
Stabbing also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
no,
like,
that's
like
totally fair.
even like as a bow gunner, I'm like moving while I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely have done quests.
No, I totally agree
Yeah,
with you.
I've done quests with a gun lance user, and they have not moved from where they were.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Like I quite like doing lands because you just stand there and you're like, oh, shield, stab.
Yeah, like, as long as you have enough stamina, you don't have to consider anything
Oh
else.
yeah, it's like if you have like constitution, you have guard up as well, so it's literally like you can block attacks that are usually unblockable, which I believe, I can't remember if I did this before, but I think Teostra's Supernova, I think you can block it with guard up.
That's insane.
And the thing is, if you've
How
got
does
like
that work?
if you have offensive guard,
and you have Constitution, and you also have a guard up. You're sitting there, your stamina bar does not move.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there. The thing is with Lance, you can never really like speed run. You
No.
can never ever like.
That's you tell it Team Dark Side.
That's true.
I watched them 4-man something in under 2 minutes. One
No,
match.
that is fair. That is
Oh,
fair.
no, wait,
actually.
sorry, no, I haven't done that.
I think they're definitely on a different level of Monster Hunter player. Like they're on a complete different echelon where it's
I'm
like.
just saying, if y'all learn bowguns, we could do that.
The Bogan, they've done that with Bogan as well.
Did you just do a This Could Be Us but you playing?
Yeah.
Moment?
Very subtly, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'll admit I did love doing a wee run with a heavy bowgun and just loading up cluster bombs and just
Oh yeah, no, that.
and
that
just
was,
not saying anything. To
Yeah,
anybody.
that was the. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
They just goofy noise
Yeah,
like out the way. That was it.
there's just so many like people. They're like doing all like their dual blade stuff, like charging up and everything, and then you're just going,
Just more firing from a mile away.
I mean, this is for anyone that's in the area,
yeah,
which is all of you.
Hoping for the best.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
exactly.
to my homies that are about to be exploded.
Yeah,
Like, it was so good.
exactly. Yeah, but the thing is, if you're against like a monster that's got really great movement, you fire off your cluster bomb and it's moved,
Yeah,
but none of the hunters have. So it comes down, and then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to move the fucking weeb that's got the longswords." Like, let me sheathe, and then it's
Yeah.
like, why am I flying through the air? Why am I? Hang on, what's happening here?
I think one of the most weirdest examples of that is dragon ammo,
Yes, dragon ammo. Yeah,
because it goes.
yeah. Whereas like piercing ammo did like a great job of being like, "Yep, I'm a fly straight. I go through the
Yep.
monster. I
Yep.
pierce."
It's
And dragon ammo's like, It's like you don't feel the power of a dragon shot. You just fire it, and then it's like, "Oh, I've hit it. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, it's moved. It's moved. Oh, it's moved.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done now."
But I mean, like as well, like the way the ammo type worked, like piercing was really weird based on like the skeleton of the monster.
Yes.
Like so, like I would be like aiming like from head to tail, and it would hit the head, maybe slightly the body, and then the tail.
yeah.
And you're like, how does that like
It
work?
like deviates when it hits the monster.
Yeah,
Just,
it's like instead of it going in a line or like going down, it goes wiggle.
I'll admit, there's nothing more satisfying, I think, when you're fighting a monster like going at World. When you're fighting Kulve Tarov and you pick up a pierce pod and you fire it and it goes and it just purrs through the entire monster. And that's just, it's so satisfying. You know you're doing minimal damage, but it's nice to actually see the numbers.
Well, by that point, they nerfed pierce ammo.
Yeah, they did nerf.
Because
Yeah, they
Nerf.
did nerf.
Because at the
They did nerf
time,
it.
slicing and piercing ammo was the best way to go. So
It
That's
was.
why
slicing
they
was the
also changed the element of bow.
Yeah.
They nerfed bow so badly.
Yeah.
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 Speaking of that, anyway, next Monster Hunter game, if it ever gets released, it should get released next year.
Sure.
Yeah.
20th anniversary, but it should.
so.
Hopefully they don't remake the first one, because that's what people are speculating just now. They're going to just remake the first one.
Oh, I don't want to use
I
the
don't-
D-pad again, please.
No,
I
not like
can't
that.
go back.
I don't-
Can't, man. Dude,
I don't think that's what they meant.
I don't
I
think that's
struggled
what
to
they
kill Aptonoth, which are like the herbivore monsters. I was so bro, I struggled, man. Let me tell you, coming back into that game, having like thousands of hours across the franchise, I struggled to kill the most basic herbivores.
That sounds like
So anyway,
Why
I'm
were
sorry.
you, why were you killing the herbivore anyway?
It
All
was
you
part
guys
of a
need-
quest.
So
I needed
whenever-
raw meat. I had
Oh,
to
okay,
deliver
okay.
10 raw meat. Yeah.
So Monster Hunter
Sorry,
6,
yes.
are you going to change your main weapon, or are you going to keep it?
I'm gonna keep.
Yeah,
Um,
this one's more for him. I knew you were
I
going to keep
I
that.
am going to change.
The most you do is sometimes deviate to a great sword.
Great
That's
sword,
about
yeah.
it.
I mean, no. Give me my credit. At one point, I did switch. I did.
Oh, you did use switch axe for a
Yeah,
while.
I did use
You
switch
did do
axe.
that. I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. Can't
But
remember
no,
when.
I'll be vulgar. Just so much
Uh,
technicality with it, and yeah, efficiency. Go.
It's such a pleasure to watch you talk. I must say, that's so great.
I just love it so much.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to change. I don't know if I want to switch to like a ranged weapon. I have thought about bowgun. Don't get me wrong. I have definitely heavy bowgun.
I mean, we can't all have our. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Not every bowgun's good.
I like the big boom. I like the big
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah,
The big numbers make me happy. That's why I played Greatsword.
That's
for so
right.
long.
Yeah, I was just saying, like,
That's
you should not be playing bowgun if you're we out here struggling.
I do enjoy that. Yeah, I don't know whether they're going to like maybe bring back Tonfa, bring back the Magnet Spike as well. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. So sorry.
Maybe the one chasing it.
I wouldn't mind stuff like that. But, like, I would wait to see if they add a new weapon.
Yeah.
Depending on if I'll do it.
I'm just
Depends what the type of weapon it
Yeah.
be as well. Yeah.
so for me as well, with the new game, movement is a big thing for me. So will they go back to like the world-esque, or will they keep the way that we've gone with Rise with the wire bug game?
I doubt they'll keep the wire bug because the wire see.
It's a very unique aesthetic to it.
Monster Hunter, all of the games have all got a niche essentially. There's a certain niche for each game. Try within the water combat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that they can't go back
No,
to
they
not
can't
having
do that,
something.
Yeah. They can't. That's what I'm saying. That's why Clutch Claw, wire bug is basically Clutch Claw.
Yes.
In a sense.
Yeah.
Because that you use things with the wire bug moves you use.
Yeah.
They were the ones that allow you to mount, and in Clutch Claw you were able to
That's true,
weaken
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and then if you did enough damage, like for example, Instant Glaive was easy to do enough damage to be able to mount
Like
damage.
any part really.
For
And
mount
mount
damage.
monsters. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've never seen a man like mount a monster
Yeah.
like so many times in like a single quest. Like you were just like, oh, I'm on it. And there was the skill Airborne. Was it the
Airborne,
Airborne
yeah.
skill where you would like do more damage and be easier to mount the monster? You'd sometimes just jump in the air and then you would be on it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even touch it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like how
I can honestly
Crazy.
tell you that like 90% of my world gameplay I never met any monster.
Yeah, as you said.
there you
I
go.
did. That was Instant Glaive. So.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that's actually because you played a lot of different weapons.
I've
so-
played probably out of all of us. I played probably most.
You
of
Yeah,
definitely
do you-
have.
do you
yeah.
think you'll-
should get each.
Do you think you'll switch though?
I am switching. I know I'm going to use bow and next.
Bow.
You're gonna go
I
bow.
decided to
Okay.
use bow next.
I think
Because
I'll-
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's good.
So Try was no sorry. Freedom Unite I used Great Sword.
Yes.
Then in Try I used Charge Blade. Try Ultimate I used Charge Blade because it's basically the same game. And then they introduced Instant Glaive.
Mhm.
And I used Instant Glaive in 4 Generations Ultimate, Generations and Generations Ultimate, and then the World as well.
Yeah.
And then decided by the end of World I was using different weapons.
Yeah.
I used the Charge Blade. I used
Yeah.
the bow
Yeah, you did.
and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Most still use the Instant Glaive as my main weapon, but I
Mhm.
still deviate for stuff.
Yeah.
Rise, I've been Charge Blade main.
It's kind
And so the next game I'm planning on
Bow.
bow.
Love
of,
that.
yeah.
Also.
No, I was gonna say I've only really been Greatsword bowgun.
Mhm.
But even then, I think I only had one game where I played heavy bowgun.
Yeah.
I've always been light bowgun because the versality of it is
and the
incredible.
movement. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
it's just so
movement
good.
works better,
It's so
Mhm.
diverse. But like I think it was trying the Charge Blade for the first time was one of the most exciting things because it's so fun and there's like a lot of technicality about it.
Yeah.
I don't think gets you like talked a lot.
Yeah, I think it's probably the
I did
most
say switch
technical
X,
weapon.
right?
Yeah, you did say
Yeah,
Switch.
yeah,
you
you
said
yeah.
Charge Blade there.
You did
Did I
say
say
Yeah,
Switch
no,
X.
no,
I
no.
think-
Switch X was really technical as
Oh,
well.
Switch
Yeah.
X.
I think that's where I'm going to go with the
Switch
next
Axe.
game is Switch Axe. Yeah, I think it was just
Amount
such
of
a cool
monsters
weapon.
before it was a thing. That's what Switch Axe was in Try.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just stab
literally.
into them and just run along with them.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And
See
an
that
explosion.
the explosion
And
out.
drop
move?
back,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Very cool.
It was so
Another cool
performance.
thing is I love the Clutch Claw wound animation for bow. Is
Oh,
when you
when you
wound it
jump
and then
up
you
and you-
backflip off and you can fire an arrow at it. That was phenomenal as well. I felt the heavy bowgun one, what took so long. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to do. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm off the monster.
Well, that's the thing with like light bowgun. Like I used to do like aerial assaults on it,
Mm.
like because
Yeah,
you
you can do the jump.
you're able to jump and then place your mines on it.
Mhm.
So you would be able to just do that, and it would just be like a cycle of like Brendan like flying through the air, and then I fly through the air, and then he pops the bombs, and then like it was just really nice and symbiotic, and
So good, man.
like yeah.
Talking about the next Monster Hunter game, what would you guys like to see in terms of like quality of life stuff? What would you guys like to see either returned or improved? I have one straight off the bat, and it's to do with yourself, Stephen. I would love to see bowguns have customizable options, so you can go between heavy and light bowgun. So there's no heavy and light; it's just bowgun. And
Right.
You can swap out different things that would then
It's
take
got
it from
customizable gun.
exactly.
Essentially,
So
Yeah.
basically, you can change like your stock, your frame as well, and that'll have differences with like what elemental and like status ailments you'll be able to use in terms of your ammunition. Maybe you can have like different like stocks, handles. Basically, think of it like Call of Duty's Gunsmith.
Yeah.
They have that level of customization. I think refresh Bowgun, because I think it's sat not static, but it's sat with these two customizations for light and heavy, and I think bringing it together would be interesting.
Well, no, I mean I absolutely agree, but like there has been in more recent times where they have been like, oh, I can customize this for like loss of deviation and more piercing and things like that, which is really cool. But like, I feel like if they're doing that for bowguns, they have to do that for other things. They have to do it for the bow. They would have to do it for like charge blade and things like that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to overhaul one system of a weapon.
Yeah.
And then not bring forward the other ones. Yeah, exactly.
Or at least like do something like with each of the weapons.
Like every game they've been slowly improving and doing more and more for bowguns customization, but
so that'd be cool. That'd be cool, but I think too much work.
Yeah,
completely crap every single different bit.
Yeah.
For example, right now it's one bowgun like per monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of thing where
you want a long barrel, you want a
you
silencer.
basically you just change the barrel, you change certain parts of it, not the whole gun itself. But if you did it that way, which it would be, I think it'd be a cool idea.
Really cool.
But it'd be too much.
Yeah.
In the sense of you have to go hunt for every different.
Yes.
Like say you want 3 different monster parts.
Yeah.
3 different monster parts and go bowgun to make your own sort of bowgun.
Yeah.
So you want
too
like
much.
a Raffles,
I see that. Yeah.
Raffles stock, Raffian base frame,
Yeah.
and top of it, so it was
like a barrel.
like a barrel.
Yeah.
Like barrel.
I see
And you'd
that.
have to hunt each monster for those different parts.
So like, sorry, I was just gonna say like the caveat of that is they did that kind of thing anyway with Monster Hunter Rise, specifically the Rampage weapons.
Yeah.
And also Monster Hunter World with the Augmentation.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Monster Hunter Rise, there's that specific. You are crafting it from these different monsters, and that changes how the weapon functions. And for bowguns, that was what type of ammo you had to use, what kind of like it did have that level of customization that you're thinking of.
Yes.
But it was in line with everything. Like which is
I think even if there's a way to like maybe if we stripping that back, I understand that it being too much work, thinking about the logistics of it. Maybe there's certain like changes you could have to it that can maybe focus on like one particular like type of ammunition, or one particular like ailment
like
or
an
element.
I could
kind of.
What they could do is add something like a bow, like each bow you can use different powders. Like,
Yes.
for example, some powders you can't use on a bow, a certain bow.
Yeah.
But to customize it, you could maybe change something on. For example, since we're using bowgun as an example, change something on the bowgun to use a different ammo.
Well, that's
For example, if you were limited on bowgun to say pierce and normal, but you wanted a different type of ammo, like paralysis ammo or something like that on it.
Yeah, they do that with gems.
That's what I'm saying.
That's already
That's what I'm saying.
that's already a thing.
Yeah.
That's
Or
the-
even having like a magazine change that you could have that slots in.
Yeah.
So it's got your original like slots of say pierce and normal, but then it's maybe got like paralysis, like ammo.
We're going to go into. I decided to call this the Rathalos Rundown. It sounds quite fun to say, and it's also kind of relative to what we're doing. So we're going to do a couple of I say mini games, but I've got some like word association as well as general trivia, and then we're going to jump into the Monster Hunter tier list of monsters, which I did my best to put as many monsters in as I could. I've probably forgotten some. I don't.
I never studied.
I don't think the Rise or Sunbreak monsters are in there. I think I put a few in. Okay. I cannot remember at the moment.
Okay.
But going into this, do you think we should start? Do you want to start with the tier list?
No.
Okay. No. Okay.
I think we should just leave the tier list till after.
Yeah,
That's cool.
tier list being
we'll
last.
leave
is
that
good.
till after.
Yeah.
So, a couple of questions for you. I'll just wrap these off the top of my head.
He's like,
It's a Dreaming's phone. Off the top of my head, I've got a list.
Shut up.
my phone happens to be a screen.
When is the first game that you could mount a monster?
Do you really want do you want the real answer or the answer I'm going to answer with?
Yeah.
Both.
Try. And we've discussed this earlier.
Yeah.
With the Switch
With the Switch
Okay.
axe, technically you can mount the monster.
Okay, when was the official game that you could properly mount monsters?
4. Notchkala.
Cool.
If I remember correctly, you can mount Notchkala. Is it Notchkala?
Are we talking like main game or Japanese?
Either or.
I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese one. I don't think it's 4.
Or they all come out in Japanese.
No, I know. No, but there
There are a couple exclusives.
Yeah. They're exclusive ones and online.
But-
Yeah, no, I think it must be 4. Yeah.
You are actually correct. It is.
Yeah.
It is 4 because
I
on.
remember mounting the
Yeah.
giants in Notchkala. They had the snake.
So I'm trying.
The
I'm
original
trying.
serpent.
Yeah.
Type
Yep,
monster,
they
one of
did.
the original serpent.
Um,
monsters.
My brain was trying to think though, like, because like between 4 there was like Monster Hunter Online. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, it was Monster Hunter 4 because on the very front of it, you actually have the hunter who has mounted a Gormagala.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's very cool.
The real answer is try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me,
The real answer is try. The real answer is try.
Played on try.
Talking about Try, next question. In
Alright.
Monster Hunter Try, who are your 2 main companions? What are their names in Monster Hunter Try?
Cha-Cha and I can't remember the fat guy's name.
Is it like Shakala?
No.
That's the species name. It's the Shakalaka.
Oh yeah, so it is.
Cha-Cha.
Cha-Cha
Cha-Cha is correct.
Cha-Cha's the original.
Cha-Cha is
no,
correct.
do this properly. Try. Cha-Cha is your only companion.
Yes.
And
Oh
then
yeah, Try Ultimate.
is
Yes,
the one
you
where
do
the other
get.
guy-
I didn't.
You
I
do get
didn't
the
play
other guy.
Ultimate.
I cannot remember the name of it. I just remember he was blue and he was fat. He had the wee blue helmet to start off with.
You are completely
It was
correct.
fat.
Yep.
I can't remember his name.
His name is Kayamba.
Kayamba. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. Yep,
I
Kayamba.
hated how useless they were because they were built up as this companion.
Question.
But
This isn't me. I can't study a game that I didn't play.
you can technically, because you can always just watch something about it. See, you ain't gonna. Don't get the funniest thing about those two in Ultimate was the cannon where they would fire one of them out of it.
That
To
was
attack them
fun.
was-
Yes,
it
there
was
was an
brilliant.
animation
It
where
was
they
the
would fire
best.
the other one out. Another thing that I loved was when they would do their dances and you'd be fighting like a Rathian or a Rathalos and then you would get like ice res.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, guys, I don't need this.
I don't need that.
Or you would get back to camp after fainting and then they would give you health up large. And you're like, where was
that?
where was this
one?
40 seconds ago when I was dying?
That's what I think. Like they haven't improved it much, but like with the new like Palamute Palico situation,
Yeah.
they've improved it slightly because
Slightly.
you get to like
Yeah.
actually choose what like
I'm not
status
gonna lie,
he
though.
is in.
Yeah, see when you've got, I totally agree. Like the statuses that they inflict, the stuff that they do is much more improved. It is crazy when you've got, like for example, in a like world, if you've got 2 people and they both have their palicos that have got a like the coral horn, and you see your health bar here, and all your buffs are like here.
Yep.
You have like 12 different buffs. And that's phenomenal. That's great. I love that. But Cha-Cha and Kiamba, they were a special type of like just dumbass.
They
like-
weren't the best.
I
Oh
think-
no, they were not.
But I
no.
think that was them testing out the idea
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
companion
Yeah.
system.
It was quite charming though. They were like charming, and the fact that when you were in your room, you actually had the stand that had all the masks on it. I quite liked that. There was something nice about it.
Also, like canonically, you're taking a literal child into battle with you.
And then one's firing the older fat one at the monster.
Yeah, like there is some
So
like
funny. I love it. It's so funny.
like there's some messed up like
It's so funny though. It's so funny. Like the first time you see that animation, it's like, and then that damages the monster. And you're like,
but like not only are they like, hey fuckhead, go kill this like Rathian, right? They're like, hey, yeah, you've got a kid with a mask with you, sure, why not? Like no one questions it.
Yeah.
There's something inherently wrong with the people in
You
the
have to
Monster Hunter
remember, it's
franchise.
basically that's just a species of
You know.
thing. It's like the Shakalaka from the Shakalaka, whatever the ones are from World.
Was
oh,
it-
the Gajikala.
Gajikala.
Was
that's
it
Oh, man.
Try that added like the little farm?
Yes, Try they had.
Try.
Yeah, Try was like the improved farm that they had. That was very, very cool. Speaking of the Gadgetala, I don't know what they're smoking, man, but good lord, they are like just the worst. I also want to know what type of equipment they're using, because they have like obviously poison, paralysis, sleep throwing knives. They instantaneously work on monsters. They're instantly asleep.
And if you're standing in front, they're instantly working you as well.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Even if they're helping you.
Yeah.
I've had that where I'm like poisoned and on fire.
Yeah.
And then one of them hits me in the back with a sleep knife, and I'm like, well, I'm dead.
Yeah, you just like watch your health
You
just
just
tick
get off.
down, and you're just like,
I think the worst thing as well is like once one of them hits you a sleep dart, and then you see the other one picking out a barrel bomb, and you see it slowly sailing through the air towards you, and you're like,
yeah.
there is nothing I can do about this
Doesn't.
at all. No.
Anyway,
like-
sidetrack. What?
We did, yes. So, talking about trivia, and a little bit of kind of like monsters. What is the flagship monster of the first ever Monster Hunter game?
Flagship monster is Rathian.
Rathlos.
Rathalos, yeah, we're the Rathalos.
I wasn't sure if you were looking at it or checking.
No,
I was double checking. Yeah.
Oh,
It's- it's the
yeah,
Rathalos,
it'd be the Rathalos.
It's
yeah.
a boy. It is
Yeah.
actually the
My
Rathalos.
bias immediately goes Rathian, and I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
It's the
Rathalos.
Rathlos. The first one was the Rathlos.
Yeah.
Yep. What is, for the next trivia question, what is the first ever large monster that you fight in Monster Hunter?
I'm not gonna lie, I got it.
First ever giant monster. It would be a great Baggy?
Not quite, no. They were a species that came before it. It was actually a general.
Oh, the Velociraptor and the
Yep.
Generals. I
Yeah.
forgot the
I
drones.
forgot the drums. I forgot
Yeah.
the
They're
drums.
in Rise as well. But the many versions of
Yeah.
them are in Rise.
Yeah, they are.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
like the Velociraptor and stuff like that. They're in Rise.
Yeah, they are. It's-
Oh my god, my recent bias. I should have known that.
I forgot about the drones completely.
Mm.
Like
Well,
the
because
first
you
ones
got their,
could
you got
unite
their
as
head.
well.
You got their head. That
You
was
got
like
their
one of
head,
the
yeah.
main things of like fighting them.
It's
Love
really
the
cool.
drones, yeah.
Yeah. For another question, I'm trying to. Oh God, I lost that. I was trying to think.
Get your script off your phone.
I ain't got a script for this, man. This is me just thinking of questions off the top of my head. What's the name of the status effect that the Gormagala causes?
Frenzy. I thought it used to be in Rise. It's a frenzy virus.
It's really weird how that came about.
And to get rid of it, you have to attack the monster. And then you get affinity bonus when you get rid of it and attack the monster.
Which honestly, I think is a very cool mechanic.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to do when you use Savage Axe Slash with a charge blade. Because the amount of attacks the Savage Axe
Do
Slash.
you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I would like, right? And it's probably just because I've been playing something else. I would love if there was a monster that would when it gives you a status effect, you hit your friend. Like say you're in a full party,
It's like a confusion thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
okay.
the stupid paralysis confusion thing where the monster actually with two different.
No.
colors. Your character's what
I mean
happened?
like a kind of like
Like, no, one
rage
of the-
state or something.
Yeah,
you
one
know?
of the
Yeah.
monsters did something similar to that where it messed up the controls. I can't remember which monster.
Oh yeah, it like made you
Oh, it was the owl monster. It was
Mephisto.
Mephisto.
Yep,
Yeah,
it did.
Mephisto.
Yep.
Yeah.
It basically inverted all of your
Yeah,
controls.
Yeah, that was so
Yeah,
bad for
that was. Oh man, yeah, that was
frustrating.
that was a fight, definitely.
That was a cool monster.
That was a cool monster.
Mephisto was one of the more unique monsters.
Yeah, it was incredibly unique. I did enjoy fighting that. It was good.
I think just for sleekness and design and just pure efficiency of its armor and weapons, Odegaron is.
Oh, the
That-
Garen
that
is
is a
but
very
yeah,
unique-
you look like obviously like a Japanese Oni, very very cool.
Yeah,
design.
very
Yeah.
sad.
So I'm just gonna make this the last trivia question because I feel like jumping into the tier list that'll be very fun. What's the highest sharpness you could have in the first Monster Hunter game?
Purple.
Purple? Do you think it's purple?
No, it's white.
You think it's white?
It's white.
And the fr-
I'm
and the,
gonna say
and
white,
the,
yeah.
the
First ever Monster.
first ever Monster Hunter game.
I
Yeah,
guess
purple or white? Are you going purple?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's green.
Really?
It's actually great.
Green is the highest sharpness you could have in the Monster Hunter game. The first one that came out in 2004.
Why? I think it's because
That's traumatizing.
that is traumatizing.
Yeah, do you know how it felt for me going back into my PlayStation 2 save file and seeing that? I was like, green, do I not have any higher weapons? Those are my higher weapons. Oh man, that shit me up, honestly.
Bro, you need to put that up. Someone say that.
I will need to. But the highest sharpness, believe it or not, I don't know if you guys would know this, but there is one that goes past purple, or past white, sorry, and it's a azure blue. So it goes back to like a blue sharpness afterwards. I can't remember which game that was in. I don't know if it's like...
That sounds like a Frontier thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like...
That sounds like a Frontier thing to me.
Yeah, Frontier was nuts, honestly.
I'm at kind of a loss and a disadvantage because all my knowledge on a lot of stuff is bowgun related.
Yeah.
I'm very specialised.
Hey, you've got to be, let's be
But
honest.
that's the thing.
You
Like,
say that, I'm not.
no,
yes.
but in terms of like melee, there is always like little nuances to it. But like the overall arcing, like how sharpness works and etc. Affinity, it all makes sense, right? But like as a bowgunner, I'm like, yeah, I don't have to worry about sharpness, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's so good.
That's cool, it's just deviation and making your ammunition.
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't have to worry about the ammunition. I just bought it.
Yeah, that's true, especially if you've got like millions, it's just like...
You know, you could have just.
I know you could
Oh
have
no,
probably
honestly, by the way,
done
see when I did like the combine, right? Like, because I made like a lot of fish. Right?
Oh
Like,
yeah, because it was always question marks.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
you never
you
actually knew
couldn't
what
figure
you're
out,
making. Oh
So-
yeah.
I fished a lot in the game just because I enjoy fishing. No, I did fish in Monster Hunter. quite a
Yeah,
bit.
but it was you have to admit you hated it. As well.
Oh my
Like,
god.
especially in trying something like that, the older games where there was specific fishing quests.
Yes.
Oh my god, there
Yes.
were. Oh my god.
Did
They
you
were
forget
the
about them?
I did.
Where
They
you
were
had
the
to go.
worst.
Yeah, you had to go to like specific locations and hope and pray that that fish spawned at that location
Yes.
at that time.
Oh my
I
god.
tried to like fishing in that game.
No,
That's actually giving me PTSD.
I forgot about that.
Oh
Yeah, I
man.
don't forget about it, sorry, but I just hated those missions.
Oh, I forgot about those.
But yeah, the combining element in that game was not that great to understand.
Yeah, because it must have been really...
You could buy combo books.
Yes, that's true. I forgot about that. But I know how...
that was later.
Yeah.
No, that was a right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But if I'm talking about Freedom Unite.
No,
Oh.
Freedom Unite gave you. Oh, you can mix these two things together. And you
Maybe.
get question mark.
Yes. Well, the thing is, like, I can't imagine how it must have been for you seeing like these columns of question marks, making one of them and it says normal shot 1.
No. I said normal shot 2. And I'm like, but I need normal shot.
You
Like-
know.
Because like even back then there was like technically like the infinity of like bowgun, bullets, but like I think I got up to like high rank essentially.
Yep.
And didn't use anything above a rank 1 bow, like bowgun, like ammo, because I just didn't know. Until like when you get into the high rank, like they do in every Monster Hunter game,
The shop sells
the shop sells a high rank.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
like, oh, this is dope, and I thought that's how it worked.
Yeah.
Didn't know I could make ammo.
That's totally fair. I'm still trying to get the final upgrade. One thing I miss as well, getting shard weapons from mining. That was so
the
sick.
shard
They were
weapons,
cool.
that
Those were
cool.
very, very cool. I remember I got them all. The last one I'm trying to upgrade is the Great Sword. I need 99 Earth Crystals. 2.
What? Did you your weed just to do that? 'Cause I'm not really sure we said back there.
Oh yeah, I brought the stuff over. I'm going to do it. I will do it at some point, trying to get that 99.
Yeah, bitch, gotta go mining.
I do,
See, the
yes.
best thing about that is I've got ultimate for the DS, so I'll just put it in the DS phone and go back to that.
Yeah,
Like a
okay.
trial
I don't think any of my stuff works.
My DS.
Oh, no,
my Wii and my DS actually still like.
No, someone's recently stolen my Wii. But that's fine.
Someone stole your Wii. Goddamn. Need to get that back then. Right. What we're going to do? We're going to do the Monster Hunter tier list now. And then I was thinking, I'm going to read you a specific article when we get to that point. And then I was thinking we will watch and review this Monster Hunter animated special with the Excited A-lister. And we'll see how it goes. And then we get food.
Sure.
How do you guys feel? Feel good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's do it.
Post.
Yeah.
Post-production. Okay. This is the Monster Hunter tier list.
Sure.
So obviously we've got our tiers. Trash, not bad, good, great, godlike, god tier. And I don't know if you know, but I've done it in the sharpness level.
I didn't notice that, you fucking nerd.
Thank you very much. I do try. There's the highest one for the first Monster Hunter game, which really shit me up. So, to start off, Great Gyros. What do we think about Great Gyros? Like fight-wise, design.
It's not bad.
It's not great.
No.
It's not. I think
It is what the monster's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which is intro level sort of thing. It's the same as Jagras and stuff.
Yeah, it's like intro to the area. I feel like every area has like an intro monster.
Yeah, and I think it did a very good job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we
But
think
it's not bad.
overall it's not bad.
Not bad.
Yep.
Not
Good.
bad.
Not
Could
bad.
be worse.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Toby Kadachi.
Actually, I think it's quite good.
I think it's great.
I like the design.
I think
It's
Toby
really
Kadachi
good.
is great.
I think it's good too. Will we pair that with Viper Toby Kadachi because they are quite
Sure, basically, Viper
so-
Toby Kadachi is just poison cold Toby Kadachi.
But like,
basically.
but
yeah.
I think the Toby Kadachi, the reason I find it so highly good is because in that game everything had some sort of weakness to lightning, and it was only lightning.
Yeah, that's a criticized well
that's
from someone
fair.
that.
Yeah.
So like,
That's a
so I
criticism
think,
from the world.
yeah, I mean that's a criticism of World, but I think that elevates it slightly to me because it's more of a priority to
Yeah.
do.
That's
Okay.
It's a cool fight.
So
Yeah,
what do we
cool,
think?
cool.
Good, great. What are we thinking?
I think it's good.
You
I'm
think-
on good. I'll go with good.
We'll go with good.
Yeah.
Okay, for both of them. Go.
I know, man. I'm like looking at it and I'm like,
There's so
oh,
many
we're gonna be
fucking
here.
monsters, man. This is gonna have to be accelerated.
Oh, I
sometimes.
know.
All this cannot go into that video. This
Yep,
also has
I know
to be
there's a lot.
edited.
There is a lot. It will be. There will be parts. I think part 1, 2, 3.
Cute.
Okay, so Odegarin and the Ebony Odegarin.
Great. I'd say great.
I think
Truly.
they were great fights.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I thought it was good. Great monster as well. Bleed effect too, and then obviously Dragon Blade as well.
Yeah, it was
I think it's
a
great.
perfect environment. Like it was a perfect monster for its environment as the apex. It just
yeah,
phenomenal for me.
yeah. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, it was. It was alright.
It was I.
Not
Yeah,
the
I
biggest
wasn't a
fan,
biggest
yeah.
fan. I like the monster in general, but
Mhm.
I wasn't. I wouldn't say it's thinking about 2 against 1 for being great. So just put it great.
Yeah, that's cool. See what I'll do. Yeah, I will put this in great.
Dodo Gamma.
Dodo Gamma.
It's God tier.
The whale
It's
boy.
just-
Whale
it's
boy.
got to be up there. Everybody loves Dodo Gamma.
You okay there, Stephen?
Sure.
You're not going to win the Van Vote.
I don't think you are.
God tier, Stephen.
Nah,
God tier.
at least put it down to God.
You want godlike? Okay, right. I'll put it in godlike. Okay.
Send me some sort of
You know,
mercy, please.
People are going to be unhappy about that. I'm just going to say that.
Alright, God tier.
The-
I'll pander.
You'll pander. Okay,
you say
you'll
this,
pander.
and then it turns out people are unhappy saying God tier.
Exactly.
Dude, legitimately.
There we are. Gore Magala.
I like the concept. I think it was. I think
Concept
the
of
concept that
frenzy
monster was
as
so cool.
well. The design of the monster.
Yeah.
What we
God
think?
tier.
Godlike. Godlike. Yeah. Okay. We'll go with godlike
It's
for
not
that.
pissed that
Eh,
we're looking at Gore Magala at Godlike and Dodo Gamma's
That'll be the meme. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
Eh,
it.
Chaotic Gore Magala. As the next one.
Did you ever fight Chaotic Gormagala?
I never did. No, I only
Pretty
fought
sure I did.
standard
It
Gore
did.
Magala.
It did what Gore Magala did.
Basically, no. You know the war by Chaotic.
Yeah, no, I know. But what I'm saying is like the fight.
I honestly can't remember. I did
Right.
fight it, but I can't
Okay,
remember too
sure,
much.
Yeah.
right.
But do
Yeah,
you remember the lore behind it? Do you know the lore behind it?
I don't know. Tell me.
Basically, because Chaotic is basically stuck between just about to shed into Shigure,
Mhm.
but it stopped. It got interrupted halfway through, and that's why it's the way it is. That's essentially what Chaotic is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Interesting.
But like I said, I cannot really remember the fight too much. So
It was.
Yeah.
It was
it's a cool idea.
cool.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
Okay,
So
so
I neutralize and put it in great because
In great,
just because I
okay.
can't remember.
yeah, no, that's fine. Leshen and Ancient Leshen. This was for the Witcher crossover event with Monster Hunter World, where you got to play Geralt of Rivia, and you actually got a pretty cool sword and shield from it, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed the sword and shield. What do you guys think about this? I thought it was quite a good and interesting crossover event because obviously you've got Monster Hunters. Geralt's he is a Witcher.
Yeah,
he is technically a Monster Hunter.
yeah.
As well, but thinking about the fight as well, for me there was a lot of bullshit in this fight. But I just did not enjoy fighting this thing.
Yeah.
But that's obviously that's just me.
I thought it was not bad, in my opinion.
You thought it was?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad.
Like for me, like it wasn't something I truly remember that much.
Not too much. No.
Like when I think of like crossovers from World, Behemoth is the only
no one you remember.
the only one that like hits me.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was the best one.
We'll go.
I would say
Not
I
bad.
wouldn't
Not
put
bad.
both of them in the same one.
No,
the
both-
Ancient Legend's completely different.
Yeah.
The Ancient Legend's 10 times harder than
That's
the
for
fucking
sure.
normal one. Have you ever actually fought the Ancient
I
Legend?
never fought it.
I did.
I've not beat it.
I fought
But
it.
I fought
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Maybe I fought it.
What,
You might have fought it,
what
yeah.
did you think about the ancient one then?
Basically, as far as I said, not put it in the same one because it's just hard to get.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it.
Okay, yeah.
So the whole point of
so
it is it depends if you like it difficult or not.
Yeah, well, of course. Everyone.
Say if you like it strong and difficult.
Yeah, everyone
then-
likes a difficulty completely.
No, they don't. No, they don't. How many people complained about Latreon?
There
Because
was
it's
a lot of
difficulty
people.
spike
Yeah.
about that.
No, but you should. But you should.
Yeah, you should want that difficulty spike. You want to challenge yourself. That's the point. But yeah.
Absolutely.
So
And
yeah,
then
I
it
would
be a sweat your
I'd put it in
efficiency,
good
that
just
thing.
for the sheer fact of challenge.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't the best monster. I wasn't 200% on it, but
Mhm.
it was
Yeah.
not the worst monster.
Yeah. So, TC Yaku,
I just thought shit. It was just
trash.
Yeah, I didn't like
What do
it.
you think? Trash? Yep.
It's cool. The
was
blind
easy.
thing was about the coolest thing about it. But
Yeah,
other than
yeah.
that, it's just a basic control.
It's just a big chicken,
It's
basically.
about like cool.
It is, yes. Next up, the two monsters that have been in every single Monster Hunter game. But we'll start with King of the Skies, Rathalos. The OG.
I
Thoughts on
think
this?
it's controversial.
Right. Oh, it is.
I'm fucking sick of the Raffles.
You're sick of it? Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just-
okay.
It's
yeah.
just constantly. Don't get me wrong. Changing some of the moves, like for example on Rise, it's
Mhm.
got extra moves that you can make it. I'll walk cooler to fight.
It's a bit more dynamic.
But
yeah.
it's still Raffles. I don't get the hype. The statue in Raffles is mine, for example, but I don't really get too much of the hype around Raffles. I like the monster. I think it's cool, but I think it's a bit overplayed.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Like I get people hyping it up as this monster, and like it's the Raffles again.
I think as well as it's went on, the Rathalos' moveset, although it's been changed, still
It's
every
still
time you're
Rathalos.
like, that's a Rathalos. Like one move doesn't change it.
No.
Okay.
But
But
I will say great.
You will say great.
I
Okay.
will absolutely
What do you
say
feel?
great.
I'll stay neutral. This will go in different ones.
You'll stay neutral. Okay.
I don't honestly don't want to.
I
I don't
think-
know where to put it because I'm just.
I do
like the way
agree.
with the monster.
I do actually agree with you. It isn't like every game, but for me, I'm constantly thinking about World. I'm thinking about like seeing it in World, like as like with us for a cinematic value.
Oh,
I
and
thought-
destroying the fucking waterfall.
Yeah, I thought
First
that
time.
was I thought that was really cool. But I'm kind of basing it off that, going all the way back as well. It was interesting to fight.
It's like godlike.
I think I'll go with.
Godlike are great.
I think I'll go great. with it. I
I'll
thought,
go
great fight. Like, I understand obviously the overplaying of it. Obviously, godlike and god tier, it's like a different
No, it's.
level
I
as
don't get me
well.
wrong. I understand that the monsters in Monster Hunter are all
The most
sort of
iconic.
universal. It's
Yeah.
the most like one and is the most iconic
Yeah.
monster.
Mhm.
I get that they're sort of universal all over the Monster Hunter world.
Yep.
And they're all going to be in every game. That being in every game doesn't bother me. I'm just really sick of fighting as a main monster.
Yeah.
Like
No,
that's the main thing. I'm just like,
I get you.
if it's there, then it's there. But don't make me go fight it, please.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm sick of fighting.
I think for me, I think the part of that bothers me, I fucking love fighting it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Like the later stuff, not enjoying fighting it.
Plus the armor. I like the armor.
The armor- the
higher
armor's
rank
sick.
armor with the wee wings and stuff.
Yeah.
The armor's sick, And every time as well, it is one of the most efficient armors to use because like it always gives you like that maximum might. It always gives you like that critical.
Yep.
Like it's just so good.
It is great. Right, next up, Dread King Rathalos from Generations.
Did you fight Dread King?
I did fight Dread King.
I don't know if it
I didn't enjoy fighting Dread King, but I thought.
Did you have Generations?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Again, it's hard for me because I can barely remember the fight.
Yeah,
Is that
I
long
can.
ago I played Generations? I can barely remember.
I can't massively remember it as well. See what I'll maybe do here? I'll maybe add another tier that's maybe not fought / yep.
Trash. No, I mean, I think for me, like the aesthetic of like the Rathian, the Rathalos, sorry, was enhanced with Dread King.
Mm.
Like
Yep.
it was just like fucking lethal.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like if I do remember, it wasn't as bad as fighting the Silver Rathalos in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, my biggest thing for Silver Apples is Freedom Unite, so we'll wait till we get to that.
Sure. Yeah.
But like the whole gimmick of specifically Generations and stuff like that was the
Going back to
sharpness.
Mhm.
Sharpness,
Yeah, and the Dreadkin didn't do that. It was just solid challenging fight.
Yeah. With that, Azure Rathalos. I don't think it's too different from Rathalos itself. I think.
Little Rathalos.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Rathalos blue.
Personally, I think I'd put it in good. I think I would put it down a tier because it's basically like Rathalos overfought it again. I think like talking about like your point of being like sick of fighting it. Oh, here's a blue version that's maybe got one move that's different.
I mean, I
See, I'm just agree with that. The blue version is just the blue version.
Yeah.
I understand the whole point of talking about the fights and stuff, but in my head, I'm just like efficiency.
Yeah.
Efficiency of the weaponry. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No,
'cause,
I
like,
get
that's
you.
like
No, I
a big
get
part
that,
of it
yeah.
as well.
No,
I'm
no,
not
it's
saying that's not
Mhm.
this, but I
Yeah.
agree with you.
No, I think we're bringing everything into consideration anyway. I think still good though. It's not terrible. It's not great.
It's good.
And
It was-
then the true King of the Skies.
I get PTSD from that most of
Silver Rathalos. This gives me an immense amount of pain as well, just fighting as well, especially like in Iceborne as well. Honestly, I think it's a great fight.
I think
it's
it's godlike.
It's a great challenge. I think this is where Rathalos should have developed instead of creating the Silver Rathalos. This is where
Silver
Rathalos should have developed into.
Yeah, but I got PTSD from Freedom Unite than just Silver Apples.
Yes.
I think,
You're
but I
talking
think,
about sharpness and bouncing off that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I think like they
I
kept,
love it. I love the coloration and plus it's good end-game armor.
Yes.
For example,
Yes.
That's the armor I use now. Well,
Yeah.
but as a fight, it's not.
and Freedom Unite is horrible.
Mhm. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the other games is better.
But not by much.
But for me, Freedom Unite was horrible.
Mhm.
My most fights, even though I've got the full Silver Raffles armor as well, I still remember the fight in Freedom Unite more than much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we feeling here? Floodlight, great, good. I don't think it's not bad.
No,
I think it's,
I
like,
don't think it's
higher up,
any of the lower tiers.
Yeah.
I think godlike for me, like
You think godlike? Yeah.
I do. But like it is a slog of a fight.
Mhm.
I don't, and I'm trying to think like, is it necessarily because it was challenging, or is it because it was the arbitrary?
And Freedom Unite it wasn't
Push
very
up
challenging.
of the-
It just took
Mhm.
forever to kill Freedom Unite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it took forever to start breaking parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to sit in great then?
I'm sitting in great. I'm fine with
Sit in
that.
great.
Also, the way the amount of these opinions are owned the web and everything, so people don't come at us.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, these
No, my
opinions
opinions
are
are
not.
absolute.
Yeah.
These opinions are purely personal,
No, they're not. They're absolute.
and that's it.
Except the fucking Dodo Gamma.
Everybody universally loves the little guy.
Fuck
We
it.
love our little round fat boy.
No, fuck that.
With this, Queen of the Skies, Rathian.
Don't ask him that. You know where he's going to put that.
Great.
You think it's great? Yeah. Thoughts?
He's a liar. He really wants to be like a god tier.
Did you know any from
No, I don't.
the very first Monster Hunter going all the way up to I believe it was 4? Rathian had no indicator for doing its flip.
Yep.
It just did its flip.
Yes, I know. because I taught him how to fight it.
Oh,
And
man.
I'm aware of when I was able to tell him when it was about to flip because I fought it and taught him.
Yep.
So
I think
yes.
great is good. Well, great isn't good. Great is great.
Dredge Queen.
Dredge
Can't
Queen.
remember fighting it.
I can't remember.
I
fighting it.
thought it. Oh my god, that was so good. Like, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but if
you fought it, give an opinion. Where do you want to put it?
I can't
thought it
remember
was-
the fight.
I genuinely thought it was better than the Rathian fight.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
So
but-
godlike.
And just put it at great.
Put it
Would be
at
good.
great.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
because you guys haven't done it, so.
Oh, I have done it, but I'm saying I can't
Yeah,
remember.
you don't
the fight.
remember
It's
it,
that long
yeah.
ago since
Yeah.
I've done it. I can't remember.
No, dude, the poison.
Plus, it's not like I'm going to go back to it because I really just can't
No,
function.
of course,
I
of
just
course.
can't function trying to play Generations. I'm going like this and going, I pressed the wrong button again.
I think that's what I love about being a bow gunner. I can just go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my gameplay doesn't change.
Honestly,
Yeah.
see the difference. See if you've seen the difference between me playing Freedom World and then going back to Generations to try and use Insight Glaive. Jesus Christ, it's hard.
That's so funny.
Honestly.
Pink Rathian now. I personally thought this was better than normal Rathian.
Mhm.
I thought it added a new sort of dynamic to it. As well, but I just genuinely enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I thought it was good. I thought it was like a subspecies that wasn't just a recolor.
yeah.
It was.
It was its own sort of beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a pink Rathian. I'm not gonna lie,
We'll
to
put
me
it
it's a
in
pink
grey.
Rathian.
We'll put it in grey.
And the coolest thing about the pink Rathian is that instead of doing a static 360,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it does
if
that.
I did the flip.
Yeah. That was very, very cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then True Queen of the Skies, Gold Rathian. Great, beautiful,
Yeah.
great armor set, great weapons.
Yeah, solid.
Solid monster. I think we're thinking great,
Yeah.
but I won't.
It is brilliant to see the Rathalos is in different tiers.
Yeah.
It just near enough all of the
All the
Rathians.
It makes me happy because if it was up to me, Dread Queen God tier, Pink Rathian godlike, Gold Rathian godlike, normal Rathian great.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no.
It's a penis monster. Let's
So
go.
the next one.